guys been doing better than like, let me see, Atlanta, New Orleans, all those places got dumped with snow.
Hmm.
It was, yeah, it's so you guys are doing better than they are.
Wow, I didn't know it snowed in New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans, Atlanta, um, I think Vegas, yeah, Las Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, they got snow. As a matter of fact, Atlanta or New Orleans, they got more snow than we got here in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I did
I
not
think even
know.
Houston got snow, which I'm shocked. Dallas gets snow periodically anyway, but yeah,
Really?
yeah, they've been under snow.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, but we just been cold here in Chicago, but not cold like a Chicago used to be cold. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Oh.
And listen, this is my last month working on a Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Now, my last month, because I just do it 1 day or 2 days, only like 5 hours, because working at the Museum of Science and Industry, it gives me access to all the museum in Chicago
Right.
and all, yeah, the federal government ran amusement. So, I'm like, oh, I just work 5 days and I have access to everything and haven't really even used it. But yeah, I'm like this Saturday thing, yeah. And the good thing about it, it was so flexible. They're so flexible with me when I have to like up and go and when I'm taking off on events that tours and work assignments. So they good with me.
Oh, man, that's wonderful.
But I'm like, yeah, my Saturdays, because that's the only day I work. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna have to pull back.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's wonderful. That's
Yes.
awesome. Okay. Ah, man, that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we
Hmm.
even got sun out today too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's actually a heat wave here in Chicago for today because it's gonna be like 40 degrees. And that's a heat wave for Chicago in the midst of January.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
Alberta. Um,
Hey, huh?
did did you use the link from the email? I just want to make sure I fixed
No,
it.
you know what? When you sent I did the calendar thing, and it, it
Okay.
it it popped up as a memory, and I clicked the link, and it just took me right here.
Okay.
So I added it to my calendar.
Perfect. Because last time,
Hmm.
I think I had the weekday class on the link,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
um, I think
yeah.
I had fixed it. I
Oh, okay.
haven't got
Yeah.
anyone texting me.
Yeah,
Let
I think it was just that first Saturday we did it because I was still trying to go uh, click on the old link. That was like when we
uh
when we first started at the beginning of the month, and that was the only time. After that, I haven't had any problems.
Okay. Let me put it in the community. But yeah, it's 7.
Hmm. Yeah, I was just trying to wait for a second, just in case,
Hmm.
because of what you were saying, if people were,
Oh,
because I
here's
clicked on mine and I
Sunday.
had to do it from last week.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing. What happened? All right, let me try this again.
That's why I haven't started yet, because I know it happened to me. So I
Yeah.
want to get off and running.
Yeah.
But
Like I
yeah,
say, yeah, I went through the that calendar when how you save it to the calendar, and that's the link I clicked on, so it came right up.
yeah.
I
Um,
didn't click on the link from the email.
Yeah, that's the only reason I haven't got started, because it's important
yeah,
to start
that's
on
on
time.
me. I
That's the only reason I haven't started, because I know it happened to me, because I just looked and it
Hmm.
wasn't
Yeah.
it was from last week popped up, so I just used it. But so that's all. So I'm just
Yeah, I still have to send schedule. Actually, I have to find out if we can do it from that community where it does it automatically.
Mhm. I can't even remember how I end up. I know when you sent it, and it's just like something about adding it to your
See.
schedule, to your
Okay.
calendar, and I did it through that. I can't remember which way, but yeah. And now it just pops up, just like it send you a notification about whatever the event is, and I clicked on it.
mhm. Good. Okay. Well, I'll give everybody one more
Yeah,
minute.
Sarita's texting me too.
Okay. Yeah. I'll give everybody another minute or two because
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
things
but
happen. I go
I'll
ahead.
take the blame. I'll take the blame.
Yeah, no worries. Things happen.
It's all good.
oh,
You are a very fast communicator, Vero. You're doing a
Yeah.
great job.
yeah,
Oh,
she
I already
really
had a
is.
feeling. I
But
was
No,
you
like,
know that
wait.
you're on top of the game, because otherwise,
seriously,
some people it'll
seriously.
just be going. I sat in a queue for like 15 minutes on one of my other sessions for something else. So you're on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes things happen. It's okay. But that's why I
Yeah.
haven't started because I know I had it happen to me too. So I want to
Yeah.
give everybody an opportunity.
I'm setting up a thing in the app, but so it could be recurring. I thought we did
Mhm.
that with Justin. I don't know what happened.
I think that's how I end up getting that the calendar. It was through that, and I saved it on my Google Calendar or something.
Mhm.
Good morning.
Hey, good
Good
morning. Good morning.
morning. Mhm.
Hola, hola.
¿Cómo
Hola.
está?
Yes.
I'm on the move this morning, so
You're on the go.
Oh, okay.
There you
on the
go.
go.
There you go. Hola,
Mhm.
¿cómo estás? ¿Qué
Running
tal
errands.
verte?
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Well, good, good. Oh, yeah. We'll give everybody another minute or so, just because I know it happened to me.
I
It's all
sent
good.
an email out, so
Okay.
remind by email 1 day before. Oh, maybe the app can do it itself.
Yeah.
Mm.
I did
Creation
get a
failed
email yesterday reminding me. So
yesterday. Oh,
yeah, I got an email
the app
yesterday
probably.
reminding me about today, and then it popped up. Like I say, it alerted me like from my calendar,
Okay.
and the link was in there, and I clicked on it.
Yeah, I had to search it up because I didn't see an email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I got one yesterday.
Well, that's good. Well, that's why I'm holding back for a minute.
Yeah.
Normally we'd be off and running by now.
Uh,
I got the Vero, just so you know, I got the 1 hour to go email. It was just
Yeah.
the link. That was just
The
the only
link.
thing with the link.
Yeah.
But girl,
Mhm.
you doing, listen, breathe, because you
Yeah.
doing the most. And we appreciate you. So it does not, you don't
Yeah.
make mistakes, okay? Like you don't make
Yeah.
mistakes.
All
Okay.
good.
Like
Yeah.
All good.
we're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Now
I'm
Leslie is
texting
texting. Good thing
Monique
you guys
and
have my number.
yeah, I'm texting Monique. I'm texting Latoya. I don't have Della's
Thank
information
you.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I got there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I got the reminder about today, and then it popped up, but it's on the calendar.
Let me see. So I have Della. I do have Della. Oh, I have his email.
I have his,
You have his number?
yeah. What do you want me to send it to you?
Uh,
Or what do you want
I'm
to
gonna
do?
send you a link that you can send to him. Let's see. Let me send to your mom.
Okay.
All right. Um, Sasha. We gonna get it. We gonna get it.
100%.
Right. Okay. Well, looks like we're starting to cook a little bit, so we'll get it. We'll get it going.
Yeah, Marlon is on basketball Saturday for his kids.
All right.
Send me a picture of them in action.
There you go.
I love it.
All right. All right. So I got two different ways I can go with this, plus your own, like I always like to check in your own things, right? So anybody have anything they want to use this information on or for or about?
Self-sabotage.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh, that's
All right.
good.
Go ahead,
That's
that's
good,
expound.
that's
Leslie.
really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if I can hop on her, well, not hop on, it's a little different. They use wisdom and they called it a female in the Bible. So when I talk about self-sabotage and the wisdom to get out of it.
Okay. Okay.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do you got? So what do you mean by self-sabotage? Excuse me. What do you guys mean by self-sabotage?
Well, for me, I'm open to allowing intrusions that aren't going to benefit me in any way, shape, or form, and are against everything that I'm focused on and moving toward, to push me back because I'm uncomfortable in the forward movement. I'm uncomfortable
Give
with
me an example. It doesn't have to be a real one, but give me an example of what you mean by that.
no, I'm growing uncomfortable with the growth of my business.
Okay.
I'm growing uncomfortable with making decisions that need to be made and
Okay.
being the sole person to make those decisions.
Okay.
I'm growing uncomfortable with separating myself from my daughter and her life.
Okay.
And I allow intrusions to take my focus away from that. My friend Jim needs to talk to me for an hour and a half. I don't have an hour and a half. I got 8 minutes. What do you need?
Okay. Okay.
But I'll take the hour and a half and push aside the need to do's because I really don't want to have to focus on them.
Okay. Okay. All right.
That's
Serena.
good.
So for me, hold on one second. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So for me, I am as far as the wisdom part for me, it's like I know what to do. And just calling it a female is like, all right, I know I can't live in a house with a woman. With another woman, me and two women can't live in the same domicile. I
Okay.
tried it with my 30-year-old daughter and I know it don't work.
Okay.
So when I hear wisdom is a woman, I'm like, all right, what does that mean? Like, I get what the definition that you gave, and I get how you presented it, which was, the subconscious is the woman, correct?
Yes.
And the conscious is the male. So when they put it in the form of wisdom is a woman, I'm like, is it something that I'm so when we talk about self-sabotage, it was so easy for me to kind of connect the two, because I'm like, I have some wisdom and running knowledge, but there are some things that I'm going after as far as peace in my own mind. Like someone said to me yesterday, my boyfriend said to me yesterday, like, what's wrong? And I knew it was wrong, but it was like, I'm thinking about the same thing over and over again, and I'm trying to be that witness in my own body and not think about it, which is my son, which is like the running theme and my whole thing. And I'm trying to be like the witness and be like, oh, okay, you're thinking about this, kind of back yourself out. Everything's gonna work out for its greater good. But then it's still like I have that wisdom, but it's like, am I fighting it because I, I don't know.
Okay.
Like yeah, it's just
Okay. All right. So everybody heard them speak, and both of you spoke. What was the first thing when they were describing something, when Leslie was describing her things, and when Sarita was describing her things, or her thing or things? What was I want you to, the best you can in your mind, including you two, both of you, what was the first word that came out of your mouth when you attempted to describe something? When Leslie, you attempted to describe, avoiding things or this or that, or Sarita, when you're attempting to describe what it is you're feeling, what is the first word what was the first word or thing you said?
I.
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 Mhm.
I. That's where everything begins and ends. That's the Alpha and the Omega. That's the beginning and the end. That's the author and finisher of your faith. When you say I and then go on to describe, let's just say, a condition or anything that Leslie you were talking about. I was first. Sarita, I was first. After that, you were describing a condition or a person or a situation or a circumstance. So when you say I and something afterward, what is it you are actually describing?
What I want is that instead of like like something that already happened. Am I speaking what I want when I describe it? When I say I?
Okay, when you say I, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about
Exactly. Ooh. I had that same thought.
Right? When you ladies, all of us though, but since we're talking about you two and talking to you, but we're going to use this like we're talking to the whole team now. When you say I, who is that? Who are you I'm not saying who it is or isn't. I'm asking you when you say I'm asking you, who do you believe that to be when you are saying I? I'm not saying who it should or shouldn't be. I'm
No,
asking you, who
yeah,
are you? Who is that to you?
my human
mm,
self, my human
yeah, my
mind.
human. Yeah, I was thinking my physical self. Yes,
So
my human
then,
self.
your physical self in relation to wanting something for your business or wanting something for your child. How is it possible to do something for your business or your child that is not available in that identity?
Mm,
You think you're fighting something, and you are, but really it is when you say I, you are believing yourself to be something. You said that's human. Well, that's like me asking you, okay, Sarita, you're on your way somewhere. So I want you to tell me, if you're going to a house or if you're going to the store, I want you to tell me, okay, let's see. So Sarita's going somewhere, so let's see. Sarita, what time are you going to get to where you're going?
10:30. I have a 10:30 appointment.
No, but what time are you going to get there?
10:25.
How do you prove that?
The ETA on my I
On
can't
your
prove it.
GPS.
Yeah, but what if
The
you miss it?
ETA on my GPS.
But so what you said, but okay, so the GPS used 1025, right? What is it doing? 1025 is a what?
Estimated time of arrival.
What's another word for that?
I guess.
A guess or an assumption.
Assumption.
It's an assumption, but you believed it.
Yes.
You told me 1025. You believe something that doesn't even speak English. You believe something that doesn't even know you.
How gullible.
Right? No, it's just the way our mind is trained to work. That's why it's called the law of assumption, because in our mind, we're always assuming ahead of our evidence. That's what proves it. What does it say in the book? It says creation is finished, right? What part of creation, if everything is already finished, which part of the finish do you experience?
Do we experience, you said?
Yes. What part of creation, if everything is already done, which part, if you go to the grocery store and everything is available, what do you come out with?
What I need or want.
No.
The completion. We experience the doneness.
So if you go to the grocery store, what do you come out with?
Whatever we choose.
No, well, okay, yeah, but have you ever picked something up and then looked at it and then put it back?
Yes.
What do you come out of the store with?
With what I select or choose.
With, yes, yeah, but no. What do you come out with?
What I pay for.
What you pay for. What you bought. Not what you selected or chose. You selected and chosen a lot of things and put them back. Realize it wasn't on sale. Realizing you got the wrong milk. Realizing for whatever reason, right? Realizing, oh, I already have this at home. You only walk out of the store with what you bought. Right. Not what you thought, not what you think, nothing. So what you bought. You go to the store because creation is finished. So you go and you come out. You go in with a whole lot of ideas, but you only walk out with what you bought. 1025 is a purchase, meaning you bought it. That's why you told me 1025. You bought it. But that buying was not even proof. It was an assumption. Creation is finished. Your purchase is whatever you assume to be true.
So whatever we believe is what we come out with.
Is what you come out with. What does it say? According to your
faith.
Faith, be it unto you. According to whatever you bought, be it unto you when you're walking through the parking lot. It doesn't matter what you select or choose. Those are only the beginnings. Those are only the process. But you can select or choose something and put it back. Forget your wallet in the car. They're not going to let you walk out with it, right? You only have the experience of, meaning the actual experience, not the idea, but the experience of what you bought, what you paid for, not what you liked, what you thought, what you hoped, what you wish, what you choose, what you select, because you can put all that back. All that is just the runway. The airplane still has to take off. You're only going to get the experience of flight when you take off. You're only going to get what you buy, what you purchase, what you, psychologically, spiritually, what you are assuming. That is your purchase, your assumption. Your world is the big grocery store, and your awareness of being selects anything that it believes itself to be as the physical representation of itself, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to the mall or when you go to a department store, there's a whole lot of shirts and things that you don't select for whatever reason, right? This is too expensive. This is too cheap. This is not the right color. This is not right this or that. What are you basing that purchase on? One letter.
One letter on
one letter.
I.
Whoever you're believing you are. I am, I have, I be, I do, I don't, I went, I was, I will, I. And I is whatever you are psychologically believing yourself to be. I is a state. Am is the name of that state. I is a state. It's an awareness of being. And the name of that state is am. I am this. I am not that. You have to preface everything you bought with money. right? When you walked out that store with what you bought, something before that had to happen, correct? So then in order for that to happen, in order for you to be walking through the parking lot with that bag in your hand, something had to happen. You had to buy it. In order to buy it, you had to have the means. Whatever means it was, you bought it, someone else bought it, whatever it is, that's the only way you got it. So the only way we get anything through life is by what we buy. Psychologically, spiritually, what we buy means whatever we are assuming to be true. You told me 1025 like it was the gospel, right? It is, but 1025 is just an assumption. All things being equal, if you go this way based on how the distance, based on the rate of speed, right? It's calculating it. You can't prove it, but you assume it to be true because there's enough around it that makes it believable to you. And so none of the things that you believe, none of the things that you assume to be true, can you prove when you assume it, but the assumption is possible for you because you believe enough of everything to say, okay, I believe that. Not I can prove that, but I believe that. So when you believed it, you told it to me like it was true. It was proved like you could prove it or proven like it was fact. That is what you are buying. That is what you are experiencing. You're now walking through the parking lot with that bag or with that experience in your life. So then I'm asking you to, but now I'm talking to the whole team. When you say we have to be more cognizant, more aware of who am I believing myself to be when I'm making this statement. See, you can say, both of you can say, what you're really fighting is you're saying, I want to go to the store, so I'm going to believe something is on sale. Cool. But you can also believe you always have the money. So if you go to the store and you don't believe something on sale, you're trying to control something else really beside you because you don't believe you have the money unless this is on sale. So you're both fighting against your own concept of yourself. Your self-concept is I. It means I believe when I say I, when you say my son or when you say my business, you are talking about because of who I believe I am, I believe my relationship, that is my budget. My self-concept is my budget as it relates to my business, as it relates to my child. And if I believe I am human, then I'm as limited as in ETA. I hope, I wish, I'm assuming, I hope there's no traffic. I hope I make this light. Now, have all of us been riding in the car with a navigation and then the time change on the navigation? Yeah. 2 minutes slower, 2 minutes quicker. So then what happened? So what are you going to do with that ETA now that you based your whole life on? What are you going to do with it now? Do you see what I'm saying? Right? The things outside of you change, but what did the ETA change? What was the change based on?
Whether or not it was traffic or less traffic or how fast I'm actually going.
Correct. Right? It was based on, did you make this light? Did you not make this light? Did you run into this thing? But it's still based on you. So you're changing things anyway. We're just not doing it consciously. We're not doing it on purpose. We're not doing it consciously. We're manifesting, we are selecting our experience every single step of the way. But most of the time, we're asleep. We are asleep. We're like a little kid that goes to Disneyland in the summer and they're out there all day and it is time to go and they get in the car and they're worn out. What's the first thing they do? Fall asleep. What? All the way home. All the way home.
And it's 10:26.
And then you got to wake them up.
Way. I got here at 10:26.
Right? So you're assuming, Leslie, that you can't handle the expanse of your business. You're assuming, but she said 10:30, she said 10:25. She wasn't wrong, right? But you believe it. And now what you believe wasn't even true. What Sarita believed for a second wasn't even true, right? So we don't even We can choose what we believe to make it true, but if we're not choosing, then anything becomes true. And if anything becomes true, humanity's default is to assume the negative.
Right.
The default for most of humanity, because the way we've been programmed coming up in life and conditioned, right? Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Money doesn't grow on trees, right? All the other stuff, we're always assuming the negative. We're always assuming that, hey, right? What does it say? Assume hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yeah. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Will go wrong. I mean, that's a law. I mean, people have made that assumption into a law.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm saying to you is your relationship, whether it's with your son, whether it's with your business, whether it's with your significant other, whether it's with your body, whether it's with your money, whether it's with your health, when you say I, and you're thinking about that, what you're really saying to yourself is, according to who I believe I am in this moment, my relationship, these are my options. This is my budget with that thing. This is my budget. Now, has anybody here ever made more money? You ever been in a point where you're making $10 an hour? Now you're making 12 or 20 and you're making more money, right? So if we can increase our salary, then we can increase our budget, right? But you're still the same person. You're just having a different experience with this thing because now with the mall, because you have more money, right? If you increase your concept of yourself, you are increasing your budget. You're increasing your salary ultimately, your buying capacity. So now you can raise your budget. You can raise your expectations or concept of your experience with this thing. You can buy more things. You can buy more success in your mind. You can assume 1025. You can assume more because you have a greater salary. Your buying power has increased. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So what I'm saying to both of you, but to all of us as a team is when Leslie said, I am, she said a whole bunch of that. Then she said, I am allowing. Then Sarita said, I am, ... Then she said, I know, ... When you say I know, who are you talking about? What humans know and what your awareness of being that knows everything. Sarita, prove it this way. Sarita said 1025. She said she got there at 1026. So Sarita's human mind or the phone she relied on made a mistake. Do you think your awareness of being, which is omniscient, all-knowing, do you think your awareness of being would have made that mistake?
No, absolutely not.
No. So then which one of these things should you be relying on when you say I know? Do you want the limited human version? When we say I know, do we want the limited human version, meaning our present experience that we are allowing to define not only what's happening, but what will happen? Do we want to define ourselves in limited terms? When we say I know, do you really realize what you're saying? Are you saying I know in your human form, which was 1025 and now it's 1026? What are you going to do with that? Right? Or are you saying I am knows? I am aware of who I really am. Therefore, when I say I know, I am, what I'm doing is I'm accessing the omniscience of my being, the all-knowing of my being. So I have to access the part of myself that knows everything, that knew 1026 for the first time. So your phone said 1025, your awareness of being was like that, ain't it? But if you're defining yourself as I am, that is 1026. Sarita is 1025. We have to learn how to blend Sarita with I am. Leslie with I am. How can you have a desire for a business to be successful and think that it's going to be too much? Who is it that's thinking that? Is that Leslie or is that I am? Who is it?
It's definitely Leslie.
Right? When Leslie says, when you say I am allowing, you're saying you're allowing something that's against your highest and best good. Well, would I am do that or would Leslie do that?
Definitely Leslie.
I mean, let's just take it to an old school objective context. When God saw the devil acting up in heaven, what happened?
He cast him out.
Gotta go.
Yeah, gotta go.
Yeah, gotta go. God didn't go over, oh, hey, keep pushing, buddy. Keep it moving. Like Martin threw him out. Out, get out. Right? God didn't allow something that was against its own best interest. God didn't allow that. But God didn't allow that because God is God. I am doesn't allow what's against its own nature. I am allows what's in its nature. And so it's in your nature in this moment to allow things that are against your best interest. And you're fighting it because you don't want to do that, but you have the identity of doing it. And identity always wins.
Yeah.
What you believe to be true always wins out over what you want to be true, what you would like to be true, what you hope to be true. Because
Yes.
I am, awareness of being is the only creator. I am is the only creator. So when you say I allow, if you repurpose that, you are saying I am is allowing.
Yes.
That's the only way anything gets done is if I am allows it. Right? So then what we have to do now is redefine our concept of ourselves to become the person who has a successful business easily, effortlessly, and has all the support they want or need. Right? We have to
Yes.
redefine the concept of ourselves. When we say I have a business, who is I? Who are we believing ourselves to be? Whatever I is, whatever that is, we have a budget attached to that identity. Whether it's an I have a relationship. Okay, I am is in a relationship. Well, who am I? Who am I believing I am is? Who am I believing myself to be? That whatever I'm believing myself to be is a budget. It's an identity. It's a salary. It means my relationship with this is going to be whatever it is based on who I am, what I can afford, what it's like, what I can or can't do, be or don't be, have, how I'm treated, how I treat. That is all based on who I believe myself to be. So when I say I am, when I say I want us to be aware. You are making a declaration. You are proclaiming yourself to be something, whether you know it or not. And we say it so much, so often our whole lives we're saying it. And so we don't really realize what we're saying. You're announcing your awareness of being. Just like when you go into work and you have your work badge, you're announcing that you work here. You're announcing that you are part of this situation. If you didn't have that badge, you couldn't be part of the situation. If you didn't have that ID, you couldn't be a part of this situation. So the first day, they give you an ID when you go somewhere to let everybody know that you're a part of this situation. Your identity is the only thing able to get you part of this situation. When you go to the bank, what do they ask you for? Hello?
Your
What do they
ID.
ask you for?
I muted myself. Yeah, but they asked for your ID. They
For
need
your ID. When
Yeah.
you go to the airport, what do they ask you for?
Your ID.
Have you ever been to the bank or the airport and they ask you for your ID incessantly or just hold it?
Yeah,
Why do you think that is?
because they want to make sure you're you.
They want to make sure you're
who
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ID matches
And
the person standing in front of them.
correct. And guess who? And they do it the most. Guess who does it the least?
Individuals.
Individuals. You out there with a faulty ID. You got an ID. You walking up to a TSA with an ID of Tupac. Yeah, that's me. That's me. You got Old Dirty Bastard on there, right? Like in the Wu-Tang Clan, just looking crazy. You're not going to pass that off. When you say you are self-sabotaging, wouldn't that be self-sabotage to go to the airport without your ID?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be self-sabotage, let's say, to go to the airport with your daughter's ID?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be self-sabotage for you to go to the airport with your son's ID? Wouldn't that be self-sabotaging, Justin, to go to the bank with Jeremiah's ID? Hey, this is my son's elementary card. This is his library card. It would be self-sabotaging, right? So when we say self-sabotaging, what you're saying is You're saying, Leslie, that you're going to your business with the wrong ID. The wrong Leslie is showing up to this account, to this circumstance, to this situation, to this airport. You're at the
Yes.
airport of your business with your daughter's ID. So that you can't overcome that. If you can't argue with that, the
Right.
people are not going to allow you through these gates. And if you keep talking crazy, you're going to get rushed to the dirt.
Yeah. I have an idea of mediocrity.
So how are you going to outwork that?
And that's the next question. Thank you so much.
If you have your daughter's ID, how are you going to outwork that?
There's no way to outwork that.
So
I
then
need
if you go
show
to
up with the right
if you go
ID.
to your business with the idea of mediocrity, how do you outwork it?
I'm changing my ID.
Correct. That's your answer. Change your ID. How
That's
do you
what-
change your ID? Sarita talked about it last week in the form of a stronghold, right? What is that? It is a concept of something that you now have that feels like a lord over you through repetition because you keep
Yes.
saying something. So for me, I have this wonderful thing here. Okay, boom, 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 start. Okay, stop. Okay, this right here. Everybody see what that says?
Yeah.
What does it say?
1459.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard it ping, but it starts at 15 minutes. But I was waiting so you guys could see the time. Now, how do you change your ID? Well, I use this little thing right here. And I tell myself, I have this little timer and I tell myself something for 15 minutes. It may be something I want to think. It may be something I need to think instead of that, right? I am constantly walking around with my ID. I'm constantly, when you're at the airport, right? Or on the way to the airport or on the way to the bank, don't you become more hyper aware of, do I have my ID? Right? You become hyper aware of it. You can't even relax until you get through the security, right? Right?
100%.
You become hyper aware. So this timer for me makes me hyper aware. I will set this for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and I will say something. I will look at my ID. I will tell myself something like, I'm divinely guided, divinely prospered, divinely protected, and divinely wise. I'm divinely guided, divinely prospered, divinely protected, divinely wise. I will say that for 15 minutes. I may be driving. I may be in the shower. I may be falling asleep. I may be when I first wake up before I get going. I may be saying that to myself. But my point is, this is how you create a stronghold or break it. This is how you create an ID or change an ID.
Yes.
A concept of yourself. I will use this timer. Now, this timer just allows me to, I may want to do something else later, or I may want to change it. So then I'm on the way to the store and I may say, you know what? I always get the best deal. Or, I get in and out of here quickly. So then I may say something for 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm not always using the timer, but because I use the timer, I get in the concept of telling myself something. I'm more aware of my ID, right? It doesn't matter, right, what you say. When I first started this journey, the first thing I decided was I was going to get a parking space at Whole Foods. When I worked at the county, when I worked for the government, about 5 minutes away down the street was a Whole Foods. Now, everybody knows, especially if you're in a commercial area, Whole Foods at lunch is packed.
Yes.
So I decided that, hey, I was going to try this out on a parking space in the front. I didn't want it in the parking lot. I wanted it on the curb in the front. So I decided I was going to do that. So the whole way, my mind's like, hell no. What are you talking about? Don't you know how many people are up here? And then you look at the clock, you're like, oh, yeah, it's 12:06. Excuse me, there's got to be a bunch of people here. Your mind starts running, boy, like a cheetah, like a track meet. And right? So it took me a couple times to say, no, this is what I want. No, this is what I want. Then one day it happened. Oh, and then it was on again. Now I'm trying to get two in a row. Now I'm trying to get 3 days in a row, right? I'm proving to myself that 12:06, 11:06, 11:56, 3:06, I don't care. Parking in the front. It's not about anything but me. I say what I want. If it's according to my faith, it either is or it ain't. So let's find out. Well, what does it say? Test yourself and see. Be a doer of the word, not a hearer only. Deceiving yourself. You are deceiving yourself if you think you can come here or any other place that's teaching you properly and think that it's good enough just to hear it and go about your regular way of thinking and go back to the regularly scheduled program. This is not, if you make this information like a commercial and then you go back to your regularly scheduled program, you're going to get the program, not the benefit of the commercial. There's a lot of commercials, but the program is still longer than the commercials. What you're hearing to the most, according to your faith, what you keep hearing, thinking, repeating, and believing is what you're going to get. That is what you're going to experience. Doesn't mean there aren't commercials in the show. Doesn't mean that. But there's not as many commercials as there are running time. Sometimes it seems like it, but there isn't. Even if it's 2 minutes longer, you're going to get the thing you do the most. If it's 1 minute longer, if it's 1 second longer. So I use that timer and I tell myself something like that. I tell myself something like, clients, wealth, and opportunities flow to me endlessly. Clients, wealth, and opportunities flow to me endlessly. Clients, wealth, and opportunities flow to me endlessly. I will say that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll set this thing and say it for 30 minutes straight. It doesn't mean I'm sitting down, my eyes closed. Sometimes I may be. Sometimes I'm driving. Sometimes I'm this, but I'm saying something over and over and over and over and over and over. When Leslie, you feel like you feel, or Sarita, you feel like you feel, aren't you saying something over and over and over? Isn't the same thought coming like, this is too much. How am I going to do it? This is too much. Oh God, here they calling again. I don't have time for this. How many times do we say it to ourselves? Over and over and over.
Thousands.
Thousands. And then we wonder why, if we say we go to church, we come out in 2 hours and wonder why our life ain't changed. Because for 22 hours, you're saying the opposite.
Right.
2 hours ain't going to save you. 2 hours ain't going to take you up into heaven when you're that deep in hell. 22 hours of death is not going to be changed in 2 hours. I don't care what the robe looks like, how well the choir sings. I don't care if the pastor's sweating. I don't care I don't care how you're getting that 2 hours of information. It's not enough to overcome the 22 that you're thinking the opposite, because your awareness of being is conditioned by your choices, right? When you walked out into that bag, when you walked out the grocery store with that bag in your hand, does the bag care about what you selected, chose, or bought? Which one?
Bought.
What you bought.
The bought. Yeah, the bag only has what you bought.
What you bought. Does the bag have what you thought? Does the bag have what you think? Does the bag have what you hoped was there? Does the bag have what you looked at like this, bought it, then you looked at the calories like, no, I'm good. Is that in your bag?
Not at all.
Not at all. So whatever's in your bag, whatever's in your life is what you have
bought.
It's what you bought. It's what you bought. Your business is what you bought. Your health is what you bought. It's not what you think, meaning hope. Yeah, you think, and for 2 hours, everybody's in heaven in church. Everybody's thinking, and for 2 hours. Oh, everybody is, I'm talking about, if there was some water, they could probably walk on it then. If you could turn some water into wine, that'd be the time to do it. Everybody is high, mighty, holy, and everything. Meaning when you are listening to a certain type of information, look what it does to you. It's possible for you to think like that. But why don't we? Because as soon as we get out the door, what happens? We go right back to the 22 hours. The regularly scheduled oh, shoot. I had one. Oh, I can't afford that. Oh, I want to. So we immediately, the escalator, the elevator, we come from here. As soon as we step out the doors, we do this. As soon as we close this laptop, we go right back down. As soon as we don't see each other for a couple days, we go right back down. We go back. So 2 hours of something is not enough to overcome the other 22.
Those, you said the right words. Regularly scheduled programming.
Correct.
You just go right back to reruns.
Yes, it's reruns. It is repetition. You've seen this before. They played this before. It is a rerun. It is a repetition. It is programming your mind. You program your mind through repetition, not through whether something is true or not. Your mind doesn't care whether it's true or not. It doesn't care.
Right.
Right? Your stomach doesn't care what you eat. It works on it the same way. If you put something down your throat, it gets to work.
Yes.
You put something in your mind gets and goes to work on whatever you're putting in it. Your mind doesn't choose what you put in it any more than your stomach does. It just goes to work. So you can't ask your mind, put junk into your mind and ask it to run well. Body, junk in your body, whatever you perceive that to be, and ask it to run well. right? If you know you're putting junk into your body, you can't knowingly put it in there and then ask it to be something else. Don't call it junk in the first place then.
Right.
Right? Whatever you're putting into your mind, whatever you're telling yourself about this thing is what you're getting. Why do you think some people have food allergies and other people don't? They're eating the same thing. Because their concept of I doesn't go with that. If it were that bad, nobody could do it.
Right.
Right? So everybody's concept with food is different. That's why some people have allergies, some don't. Some people are allergic to this, some people aren't. It's not the food. It is your relationship to it based on what you think. So the food does to you what you think it's going to do.
Yes.
Food does to you what you think of yourself. It is acting out the role you have of yourself. Oh, I can't eat that. It does this. Oh, I can't eat that. It does this. That's not good or bad. It's just the truth. You have to define and decide what is good or bad for you. That's your right. Right? But that is
Yes.
why it's acting that way in your body and to your body, is because of it is physically showing you what your self-concept is in this area. That's all anything is doing, whether it's your children, whether it's your business, or whatever else it is. So to answer both of your question, the struggle is your desire to be something different than you're actually identifying yourself as. You're at the airport with the wrong ID. There is
Yes.
no way to outwork that. There is no way to overcome that. There is no way to grind and struggle and overcome. You're never getting through TSA with that ID. You're never going to get into your account with that ID. You're never at the bank. You're never going to get into work without your ID badge. You're never going to be able to buy a car without a driver's license. You're never going to be able to, excuse me, you're never going to be able to get access to certain things without the proper identification. You being a good person don't matter. You being black don't matter. Being a woman don't matter. Being a Republican don't matter. You being a member of the church committee doesn't matter. You being, don't you know who my father is, doesn't matter. Don't you know who this, none of those things matter. Only your self-identification, because it's your account that you want to get in. Your daughter's not flying. How's she going to help you? She's not at the airport. They won't even let her walk you to the gate anymore. So how's she going to help you? So you having her ID can't do nothing for you. In my best English, it ain't going to do nothing for you unless it's your ID. Your business is not going to change until you change your concept of yourself. You are running this business physically based on your psychological concept of you. So when you say I, who is that? Attach. I am a successful business owner. You put that on there. You put this thing on there like I do for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, and you get to talking. Start running your mouth. This is what you should be running your mouth about. This is what you should be gossiping about. This is who you should be talking to. This is who you should be. It's just an app I found on I don't even know what it's called. I just look for like a countdown app. So like when I go to the gym and I'm doing like a certain exercise, I'll know when to switch. Like if I'm doing abs or something like that, I'll know when to rotate and do another kind or something. So if this thing goes all the way down in 30 seconds, it goes down to 15-second intervals. It has cycles where I can do, it has 100 cycles. So if I wanted to do something for 15 minutes, it will keep going 15 minutes 100 times. Right? And so I will use this to say, God knows anything to myself that I want to think. Right? I have a marvelous, successful business doing what I love. Right? I'll say that over and over and over and over and over. Then I'll say something like, my phone is always ringing with requests, referrals, and payments. My business is always ringing with requests, referrals, and payments. Right? It means people always want something from you. People are always referring other people to you, and you're always getting paid. Your phone is always ringing and pinging with those three. I'll say that for 15 minutes. I'll say everyone loves all my products or this or that. You can say whatever it is you want. I have the best relationship with my children, my child, my son, my daughter. We love each other, respect each other, and we're both doing well. We have the best relationship ever. We're this 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But whatever it is, you have to start increasing the time thinking, right? Start programming your mind so that the 22 hours is in your favor. It will overwhelm the two, just like the 22 hours are overwhelming what you want now. They're
Right.
overwhelming it. So what you two talked about as far as fighting, right, is we're talking to the team now. This is what we're fighting. We are fighting what we desire in relation to who we are. We want that, but we know we ain't that. So then
100%.
we either drop what we want or we struggle for what we want. But either way it goes, we're not going to get it because that's not who we
Are.
You don't get what you want in the store. You get what you buy. What you buy is who you are. When you walk out with the bag and you've paid for it, is anybody chasing you out the store? Is anybody chasing you through the parking lot?
No, not.
No, because you are the legal, lawful, rightful owner of that. It can't be taken from you. When you change your identity, when you purchase the identity of successful business owner or whatever relationship with my children that you want to have, or whatever with your spouse, with money, with health, you now become the successful owner. It can't be taken from you. The economy can't take it. Recession can't take it. There's nothing that can be taken from you. You're the rightful owner. Even if you threw the receipt away, they got you on camera buying it. The transactions on your card or the cash is in the teller. You got 1,000 million ways to prove that this is yours. You don't have to worry about it. Right? So that is important. When you say I, who are you telling yourself that is? Because whoever you're telling yourself that is what you're having the relationship with. That is I am this. So when you say I am 14, can you legally drive a car?
Not in this country.
Not in this country. So then, okay, you all said no. Did anybody get hysterical over that? Did anybody say, God, you don't love me? Did anybody say, well, like, did anybody make any type of hysterical, ridiculous statement on that? The answer is just no, right? So, but who said you were 14? Who said that?
You did.
You did. So according to your own self-definition, driving is what?
Illegal.
Illegal.
Yeah.
Out of the question. Well, so then what are you going to do now? By the way you defined yourself, how are you going to drive that car? I mean, if anybody got an idea, let me know. How are you going to drive that car legally when you defined yourself as that? How is your business ever going to be what you want it to be based on your own self-definition? How's that going to happen?
It won't.
It won't.
It won't.
So keep it that
it's
simple.
that simple.
Right? Your struggle is just a physical reflection of your unwillingness, for whatever reason, to tell yourself something different. As long as you're 14, you're walking, or you're on the bus, you're hitchhiking, you are at somebody else's mercy. As long as your concept of yourself is what it is, your business is at the mercy of someone else. The economy, clients, the weather, distribution. You order your products and they don't get there when they should have, right? You're always at the mercy of somebody else. You're a 14-year-old waiting for a ride, hoping the bus comes on time, hoping, you're not standing on the street and somebody, drives and now the water splashes all on your face, right? You're standing out there in the cold at the bus stop, standing there looking, but you waiting. You don't have no say of your life. You're 14-year-old waiting for the bus. If you define yourself as that, there is no way to overcome that. There is no way to overwork that. You cannot do enough advertising, marketing. There ain't a funnel big enough. A funnel could be as big as a tornado. Ain't nothing coming to it or nothing coming through it. Nothing. You can be on every call. You can be in every group. You can be on every whatever it is in the world. You could be in every membership. You could be here every day. You could be wherever you want. Ain't nothing coming. You're 14. You're going to be waiting forever.
Yes.
You're only free when you turn 16 to some extent. That's the only, until then, you don't have any control. You don't have any say. Keep it that simple. It's that simple. Mom, can I drive a car? Girl, you're 14. How long does that conversation last? And how ridiculous is it to have a long, prolonged conversation over that? Right? You'd be like, girl, you gotta stop talking to me. So, well, what are you talking about? Okay, if I let you drive and you go out here and get arrested, can I help you? No. So then as a good parent, you realize you're not going to do that. Well, guess what? If you have the identity that you have and you think you want to have that business is going to kill you. Just like you wouldn't let your child go out there at 14 because you know better. Your awareness of being ain't going to do that to that business. It's going to kill you. You are not the person that can handle that. That's not who you are. You're 14. In your mind, you have a concept of yourself as a parent, as a business owner, as a significant other, with your health, with your money. If it is insufficient, so is that relationship. So is that experience. There's no way to outwork that. So just like you couldn't take your daughter's ID through TSA or your son's ID through TSA, you can't take the wrong identity to or through an experience and think you're going to have it. You're not. What you are having is based on the ID that you have or don't, meaning based on who you really are. You don't have an ID, you can't go. You got the wrong ID, you can't go. Either way it goes, you can't go. If you can't prove who you are, you can't go. If the ID you brought isn't you, you can't go. There's no way to overwork that, outwork it, overcome it. It's not about grinding, hustling. It's not about how many people you know. It's not about how many degrees you have. Nobody cares. You ever been somewhere and people are doing something and you're like, it's not on sale. Yeah, but it was on sale last week, but it's not on sale today. Yeah, but I come here all the time. You ever sit there behind somebody in line and they doing something like that? And you're like, girl, it's not on sale. Like, bro, it's not on sale. But that's what you're doing with your business. You're sitting there arguing as a 14-year-old talking about, well, why can't we just negotiate? Why can't, but I'm a nice person. I really mean well. It ain't on sale, man. It ain't gonna work like that.
Right.
And you standing up here at the line, you just holding up the line. Now, not only are you mad, the teller's mad, and guess what? I hope you don't turn around because everybody behind you mad too. Right? So your lack of ID, you holding up the line. You're holding up your own relationship with your children. You're holding it up. You're doing that. It's not them, it's you. It's your unwillingness to define yourself and keep yourself that way. Okay, so let's get this right. You go to the airport and you're checking your bag. You have to show them your ID, right? When you're checking your bag. Okay. So say you put your ID in your pocket, then you go through TSA and you refuse to pull your ID out. What's going to happen?
We need you to step to the side.
Yeah, right.
You're going.
Okay, so you're not going, but you showed the ID to the people downstairs.
Not the same people.
Oh, so if you say you have a successful business one day and then the next day you say, oh, hell, this shit ain't working. Now what? Oh, yeah, I'm just going to give it to you real today because I ain't got time to be playing today because I ain't got time.
Yeah.
What do you do now?
You're back in your 22 hours.
That's right. Step to the side. Step to the side. This ain't going.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to just say things and make sure everybody's awake.
And that's why I asked the question today. Because I said to myself this morning, I was like, you need some information to put you in the right mindset to move in a forward direction because you're choosing things that aren't serving you. Why you're choosing them, you don't know. And I was watching Dr. Phil at 7:00 this morning. And one of the things he said is we can talk about this all day long, but it ain't gonna change nothing.
Nothing.
And that thought, that statement, I'm like, I need the key to the thing that I need to fix because talking about it ain't gonna do nothing. Like that's not the thing I need to do. I know that's not the thing I need to do. And I've been meditating. I've, been coming to class. I've been participating. I've been rewatching. There's something else, and you said it. Your self-definition is mediocrity. And that's why you keep choosing it.
Because the law is no respecter of persons. It's according to your faith be it unto you. It's a program. It's going to keep running.
Yes.
It is a program. It is just like a computer program, just like when you automate something, right? It's a program. You set it and forget it.
Yeah.
And it keeps going.
Just keeps going.
Keeps looping.
Yes.
That's why why do we think we say this? Be you transformed.
By the renewing of your mind.
If you don't renew your mind, how do you transform?
You can't.
You can't. Step to the side. Step to the side.
Yes.
You want to talk about it. Okay, just step to the side. Yeah, we work here. We're TSA. We got all day.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you all. Yeah. Well, we're here, but you ain't going nowhere. Yeah, you got your life will wait. We're here, but you ain't going nowhere. Your relationship won't change. Your business won't change. Your health won't change. Your money won't change. Because you step to the side.
Right.
It's like COVID. You just been quarantined. You're going to stand right over here in that little corner.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. Your forward progress is forever impeded and stopped, arrested.
Yes.
Until you bring out your ID. No ID, no go.
It's
It doesn't
very
matter,
blatantly clear.
right? It doesn't matter what flight you're getting on. Whether you're going to Brazil, whether you're going to Africa, whether you're going to Europe. It doesn't matter what flight you're getting on. Whether it's your business, whether it's your relationships, whether it is your money or your health, whatever flight you're going on, whatever experience you want, you have to have the ID to be able to get on that plane, to be able to step into that state. You got to bring your ID to get on that plane. You have to bring your ID to have that experience of that state. So you have to start identifying yourself as the person in that state.
Yes.
I am in Florida. You can't sit there and be like, Leslie, where are you? I'm in Florida. Well, then why did you just tell me 2 minutes ago you're in Chicago? You cannot be in both places.
Right.
So you're lying. What does that mean? A double-minded mind, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let him not think he'll receive anything. You can't be in Chicago and Florida at the same time. Which one is it? Which one is it? You can't be rich and poor at the same time, sick and healthy at the same time. You can't be successful and unsuccessful at the same time. Which one is it?
Right.
You can't get on both of these planes. They're going in two different directions. Brazil and Europe are two different directions. Which flight are you getting on? What ID are you presenting that allows you to get on one, both, or none of these? But you can only take one. So what are you choosing? Are you choosing success or unsuccess? Are you choosing your relationship as this or it's not? What you're fighting is you're fighting the people at TSA. But they're fighting you because you have no ID. You won't set your timer and start telling yourself something, in theory, right? You're not spending enough time. You're not presenting your ID, and you're not defining yourself as the person who has what you want. It doesn't matter what you want. I want to buy this on sale. It ain't for sale. I want to buy this on discount. There ain't no sale rack. There ain't no discount rack. I want to go get on this flight. You don't have no ticket. I want to get on this flight. You don't have no ID. You don't have the identity of the person who has this experience. Without that, so when you say I am, understand all of us, I. When you say I, what are you attaching? I is a state. What state is am? I am in Chicago. I am in Chicago. Am is Florida. The state I'm in is this. Mediocrity. The state I'm aware of being in is called mediocrity. In that state, there will only be mediocrity. There's only Florida things happening in Florida. There's only Chicago things happening in Chicago. Right? There's only certain things happening in every state. Only things in that state are happening. If you don't like it, move. But staying in that state and complaining about it ain't going to change what happens in that state. Because the state, like you said, is a program. It has the same weather year round, all 4 seasons. In Chicago, you know what it's going to be. In Florida, you know it's going to be. In California, you know it's going to be. In New Jersey, New York, Texas, right? You know what it's going to be. You all know what it's going to be. Nobody's surprised, right? So, because that's what the state does. That's what it's for. So you don't get to redefine how that state works. If you don't like how that state works, move. If you don't move, you're going to keep getting the same thing. If you don't bring your ID, you're going to be stuck. If you don't change and make sure you have the right ID, you're going to be stuck wherever you are. In that relationship, you're stuck. Just like you're stuck at the gate, can't go. With your money, you're stuck. You won't make more because you can't go. You will not proceed. You will not increase. You will not rise if you do not renew your mind, renew your identification, your concept. That is your mental concept is your ID. And that is what the Father, your awareness of being is. That is the state that it is in. Therefore, that is all you will see. All right. Does everybody get that? Everybody understand that? Any questions on that? Okay.
I have none. I'm as clear as a bell. but
Right.
I recognize
Okay.
I need to go back through this every single day
Mhm.
because this is the 2 hours, not the 22. I got to
Correct.
change it.
Correct.
So this is the 22.
Correct. Correct. And that is why I have that timer. I don't always use it, but the timer has just made me even more aware of time. So I'm like, man, and I'll just start talking to myself. I don't even have my phone around me, but I'll start talking to myself. Because
Right.
almost like when you start a new habit, it's hard at first, but then after a while you miss it when you stop. Maybe you said, I'm gonna start taking a walk. First 2 weeks, you're like, oh God. But then after that, the first day you don't do it, right? You
Yeah.
actually miss it.
Yeah.
You're actually like, wow. Or you start drinking more water. And the first couple of days, you're just in the bathroom. You might as well just stay there, drink your water, and just sit there, right? Because it's coming right back so quick. But after a while, your body adjusts, and then it's not so frequent. But then the first day, maybe you traveled or something, and you didn't drink the water you used to, you realize how quickly you miss it. Like,
Right.
why is
You
my,
feel
oh,
dehydrated because
right.
you haven't had.
You feel like that, right?
Yeah.
Everything is a program. It just becomes your body starts, your mind starts, your life starts looking for the things you do most consistently.
Yes.
Whether it's water, walking around the block, whether it's talking to yourself. I don't even realize I haven't talked to myself maybe in 2 hours. And then after a while, I almost get thirsty. I'm like, why do I feel? And I'm like, oh. And then I'll just say something to myself. It just, my mind is looking for something it's used to. It's not good
Yes.
or bad. It's just like thirst. It's bringing me back something that it's accustomed to experiencing. So if you can choose what it reminds you of, then you can always have the best thing. It'll remind you of anything. It'll remind you that you're rich. It'll remind you that you're beautiful. It'll remind you that you're successful. It'll remind you that your business is successful. Your relationships are successful. It will remind you, whether it comes directly to you or whether somebody else tells you, oh, Leslie, your business is always so successful. Or, oh, Sarita, how do you have the best relationship, with your child? Or how do you do this? Or it will come back to you. Like having to use the bathroom almost, it will come back. The outcome
Yes.
of that, it will come back. And then you use the bathroom, then you're thirsty again. You have the thought, you have the experience, and then it comes back again. Right? So that we can use these things, right? To consciously for our highest and best good, knowing that they exist, that we're always doing them anyway. Now we're just choosing how we want to work them, how we want to use them. Like you said, flipping the 22 on its head. Now 22 is in my favor now.
Yes.
So you may go to sleep listening to a subliminal about something. You may, and just have it playing in the background all night. Your subconscious mind is listening to that. So with money, successful business, whatever else it is, right? Or, it could be, but then you wake up and you start talking. You go to sleep and you start talking. And when you're throughout your day, you talk. You start getting more, taking your hours back. Taking your hours back, right? Just like that. Sparkle Bailey.
I know we're going live this week, so I'm just like, I was over here like, should I not, should I? I wrote something this morning before the call. I was just kind of to myself, and I was writing like, put this in a book. Just make sure you put this in a book. And then Leslie mentioned self-sabotage, and I'm like, girl, can you get out of my life? Like, can you just like get out of my business? Like, how did she know? And then you went on this rant that was so necessary about just another gentle reminder, another healthy reminder. And I'm gonna read it real quick. It's not that long, but I'm gonna read it real quick. And feel free to just drop whatever nuggets. Go with the flow. But because I've been misunderstood and misrepresented the majority of my life, I started this thing where when I share my side of an event, I highlight the best parts of the villain, as I would have preferred done for me. A lot of people think highly of you because I made them, not because you're truly amazing. Once you have become used to losing the battle of being believed, you can give in and accept that everything is your fault, even when it's not. Before allowing others to mislabel you, you've done the work for them, as you've been down this path many times before and no one came to stand on your behalf, believing you to be the bad guy in some believing yourself to be the bad guy in some way. So when you recount events where you deserve to be heard and protected, but were instead disrespected and not protected, by default, you praise the villain as it's easier to go with the norm, believing that you were the true villain all along. That's all you've ever known. And so when I heard you today, I'm like, damn, like, because the rest of what I wrote is a whole lot of profanity. And it's just like the hell with all that. Like that chapter is over. Like that's over, because I see psychologically how I was trying to protect myself, but I was still kind of like not protecting myself. I was abandoning my true self by praising the villain in a situation and just wanting there to be peace so badly that I'm just going to highlight you as, like, oh, this person's a great person, da 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 da. But listening to this conversation this morning with you and Sarita and Leslie, it's just like accountability afoot, accountability all around. Like, baby girl, you can't be out here praising the bad guy to and I say bad guy with like air quotes because I don't want to label anybody as a bad guy. But if, for example, this did not happen, but just for an example, it's an extreme example. If someone punches you in the face and then you punch them back, that doesn't make you a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like that, you're standing up for yourself. But if the people coming around the situation, if all they see is you hitting someone in defense of yourself, they don't see them hitting you first. If that type of pattern happens a lot, where people just see you standing up for yourself, they don't see you defending yourself, they see you initiating havoc. If you get used to that, you gonna start believing like either I don't need to be here on this planet because all y'all are crazy, or you're just gonna believe, let me just fit in. Let me just be the bad guy, you know? But hell no. Like I said, the rest of the writing was a whole lot of profanity because a lot of people have Sparkle Bailey all the way confused. That's the nice way. That's the feminine way of saying, you know what I'm trying to say. Like some of y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all have me confused. If you believe that it's my duty to sit back and just make you out to be this great person when the reality is you try to destroy me, whether you meant to or not. And so I have to change my identity. I got to bring the right identity to the airport. Like you said, like that, woe is me, I'm used to being blamed, blah, blah, blah. That's not the identity that's going to get me where I want to be. That's not going to get me the type of business etiquette that I want to have. That's not going to get me the money that I want. It's definitely keeping me in a box that I don't want to live in anymore. So I'm excited that my head was already in this space before the call, and then the call just kind of like solidified, like, yeah, you tripping, like enough of that. So thank you for letting me share.
Wonderful. All right, so two things. Number one, in no particular order, but number one. So this is I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to the whole team. If we were to use that example where you got into a fight and somebody, you're walking down the street and like you said, somebody punched you in the face, or they tried to take your purse off your shoulder and you defended yourself. And then people who didn't see the beginning, like you said, saw you just, excuse me, just saw you just defending yourself. But they didn't interpret it as that. So they made you the villain, let's say, or they made you the person who accosted another person. They made you the person who started it. Does that make it true?
Absolutely not.
So, but it may be true to them because that's all they see, or that's what they think for whatever reason. But if it's not true, then it can never be true. So if it can never be true, what is the value of accepting it or internalizing it? No matter how many people say it. If you get 2 million 1-year-olds and you say what's 4 times 4 and they say 12, but it's 2 million of them, does that make it the right answer?
No.
No. So it doesn't matter how many people say it, and it doesn't matter how long people say it. If it's not the truth, it will never be the truth. So only the truth sets you free. So if you are accepting something that's not, then you are going to be a slave. No matter how long people say something, no matter how many people say something, if it's not the truth, if we choose to internalize or accept something that's not true because a bunch of people say it, or because of people have been saying it for as long as we can remember, we are still going to suffer the outcome of that statement, which is, if it is a falsity, it is a lie, then you will be a slave. And you will be a slave as soon as you believe it and as long as you believe it. You will never get out of that. Like we talked about with the identity. You'll never be able to pass through the gate of freedom. You don't have that identity because you have the identity of a slave, not a free person. And slaves believe lies. Free people don't do that because only the truth sets you and keeps you free. Lies do not do that. They enslave you. Every lie cuts down your next option. Then it cuts down your next option, and it cuts down your next option until you don't have any left. Only the truth increases your options, right? So it doesn't matter how long people have been saying something. It doesn't matter how many people have been saying it. If you defended yourself and that's the truth, then whatever is the truth is what you stand on, whether you're standing alone or with whatever. Because there's a whole a lot of people who believe lies, but the lie is still going to do what a lie does. Doesn't matter if it's 2 million people believing it. The lie is going to do to 2 million people what a lie does. The truth is going to do to one person what the truth does. The truth is, what does it say? What does it say? God, you and God are the majority. If God be for you, if your awareness is for you, who could be against you?
Who could be against you?
Who could be against you? Who is that? Only person that can be against you is you if your awareness is not for you.
Right.
Right? So just like we say, right? Remember we talked about months ago when we were talking, especially during the weekday calls, and I said to you all, Leslie, what time is it where you are?
Right now?
Yes.
I don't even know. Time for me to pay attention to you. 11:18.
11:18. It's 8:18 to me.
Yeah.
It's 8:18. So somebody's lying or we're both correct. So then what is the only way for us to both be correct? What's the only way for that to be true?
We're in 2 different places. We're in 2 different locations.
Okay.
2 different time zones.
Yeah. But what's the only way for it to be the truth?
I'm confused.
You agreed to it? You agreed to be where you are and she agreed to be where she is?
No. It's that our concept of time is not what we think it is.
100%.
Because if it's 11:18, that means I'm talking in the future.
Right.
So listen, look, right now, I want you to talk to me for tomorrow. So I want you to talk right now, and then tomorrow I'm going to hear it, when I wake up. That's essentially what you're saying then. If you're saying it's 11:19,
Right.
you're telling me something now that I don't hear until 3 hours from now. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
No, so then that can't be true. What's true is what's the truth. Meaning we are having the experience believing that we're having different time zones. Yes, in our human experience we are, but the truth never changes. The truth never changes. The truth is there is no time the way we see it. That's why even though we're talking 3 different hours, like I talked about with Sarita with this, we talked about it a couple months ago, there is no time the way we perceive it.
Right.
So then that means Sparkle Bailey, point number 2 is just like you could say what you want to be, you could also start telling yourself what has always been. You can start telling yourself, I've always been understood. I've always been respected. I've always been loved. You can start telling yourself what has been just as powerfully and as truthfully as what you desire or what you want to be. Because there is no real time like that. You are using the present. I am is the only time. That's why Leslie said it's 11:18, it's 11:20 where she is now, but we're both talking, it's 8:20 to me. So right now, Leslie could go to the bank. Could I go to the bank?
No, well, you can, but they
Probably
ain't
not,
open.
not inside, right?
Right.
Because it's not even 9 o'clock.
Right.
But then how are we both talking at the same time? Right? So what I'm saying to you is that you're always using the present. Your present defines you. You are defining yourself in the present. And you can use the present to define yourself because of your past or what you want to be because of your future, for your future, but you're still using the present to do it. You never get out of the present.
Right.
You never get out of the present. I am is the present. I am is the universe. I am is all the gods that we name. I am. First person present tense consciousness. Your highest authority is your first person present tense consciousness. So when you say, I am allowing somebody to occupy my time that I don't want to. Well, yes, there's something that you don't want or like, but the way you identify yourself is what's allowing this to happen. You don't have a choice because of your self-description. You don't have a choice.
Right. And that's how I feel.
Yes.
I feel like I don't have a choice.
Yes.
And then I'm mad because I don't have a choice.
Yes.
But I do have a choice, but the
But
choice is not.
why do you guys, when you say that, Veronica, let's come to you. When we're thinking about something and we get mad at ourselves because we don't have a choice, why do we get mad? Why do you get mad or frustrated? What is it? Go ahead.
Because it's not what you want.
Yes, but why? But why do you get mad and frustrated? Yes, but what is anger, or what is that anger and frustration representing?
You know you could do better. Like it's something better.
Go ahead. Okay. Yes, Veronica. Yes.
You know you could do better, so you get angry and frustrated for allowing yourself to even be in this moment, because it's like, I know better than this.
Right. But so I, in that sense, is I am. I that is not doing the right thing is Sarita, is Veronica. And I am is saying, what are you doing? Just like, when you have kids, you're like, it's time to go to school. And I am is saying, let's go. And our kids are sitting up there going like this in the mirror, trying to pop a pimple or do whatever they're doing. They're like, it's time to go to school. What are you doing? Oh, I just, right? There's the conflict between the two. You're ready to go. They are not. You're aware of time. They are not. Right? So I am is saying, I want to express something through you. But Veronica won't do it because Veronica has trauma. Veronica has drama. Veronica's remembering her past. Veronica's doing this or doing that. So Veronica is essentially player hating on I am. She's essentially hating, blocking. She's hating. And so I am is saying, what are you doing? She's like the parent saying, what are you doing? Come on, let's go. Right? There's a relationship having two different experiences within the same person. Yeah, right? And that's what I'm saying to you. That frustration and anger, that emotion, right? That fight back, that clap back is because there's a part of you that knows there's more, that knows there's better, that knows that what you want is already a reality. It's already reality, but you won't pick it. You won't buy it. You won't assume it. You won't start telling yourself, I am this person. You won't change your identity. You won't present your ID. When you go to TSA and you won't present your ID and they won't let you through, there's two people frustrated, you and TSA, right? So who's frustrated? I am and Veronica. I am and Sarita. There's two of you frustrated. You're at odds because your desire and your identification don't match. So they're frustrated with you. They throw you to the side, and you're frustrated because you're thrown to the side, right? You want to keep talking. They want to stop talking now. It's the same internal battle happening, right? So when you are saying, so I'm saying to you, the second part, Sparkle Bailey, is that you can tell yourself people have always understood you just as much as you can say, okay, they start understanding me now. There is no time. You can start telling yourself anything you want, and that will become a part of your consciousness. You won't remember those things anymore. You're only remembering because you keep reheating. You keep telling yourself the same story. And while it makes sense, it doesn't make you free. Do you want to be right or free? Do you want your opinion or freedom? Which you got to pick sometimes. My mom used to always say, you want to be right or be happy. Sometimes you got to drop it. Sometimes it's not worth proving your point. It's not worth getting the last word in. It's not worth having something to say, oh, you know what, you right. Now you're not going to the dance though. Oh, you right. I mean, you're not going, right? You just have to get that one more in. Your kids have to get that one more in. Oh, really? Yeah, you right. You know what else is right? Give me that phone I bought you. And you know what? Them shoes that we're going to get tomorrow, we ain't getting that. Yeah, you right. Let me show you. It ain't worth it. Do you want to be right or happy? right? You arguing with yourself, right? This is talking to Spark Bailey, but for all of us, you arguing with yourself about the past. You keep reheating the past. You, whatever it is, whether it's relationships, money, your health, you keep saying to yourself or remembering, right? You keep reattaching yourself. You keep reinfecting yourself with the same needle. You're picking up the needle off the ground that you used yesterday. Even drug addicts know don't do that. Even they know get a clean needle. Even a bank robber knows wear a mask. Like, we're doing stupid stuff stupidly, right? We're not even doing the wrong thing right. At least wear a mask. At least make them catch you, right? Right? Be free, but you can't be free with a lie. And the lie is that you can't change it. The lie is that you can't tell yourself they've always respected you. They've always knew you were just defending yourself. They've always thought highly of you. They've always protected you. You can tell yourself that just like I can tell myself it's 8:27 and Leslie will tell me it's 11:27. Both can be true, but I picked California, so it's 8:27. Leslie picked Florida, so it's 11:27, 11:28 now. Both experiences are true. Which one you gonna pick? Both states are true. Which one you gonna pick? You wanna live in California or in Florida? You wanna live in your past or you wanna live in the future? But you're gonna use the present to do it. And you're gonna use the present to tell yourself, this is how it was, this is how it will be. But you're doing both of those, I am. First person, present tense. There is no time. So just like you can tell yourself a new story about the future, you can tell yourself a new story about the past, and you will get the same outcome. Because there is no time. There isn't. There's only now. That's all that ever was and all that ever will be. That's it. Right? That's it. That's all. It's that simple. Don't complicate it. It's that simple. Don't complicate it. If you don't have, if you want a business and you go up there with mediocre ID, your business is going, that is your ceiling. Your identity is your ceiling. That's as high as you're gonna go. That's as good as you're gonna get. Right? If your ID is, what type of parent are you? What type of relationship do you have? This is not about them. It's you. Who are you? Who are they? Not what is my business? They, my business, are a reflection of me. Forget them. If I work on me, they got to reflect me. When you look in the mirror, do you yell at the mirror? Did the mirror make you look like that? It's only showing you who you are. Right? It's only showing you a clear reflection, not a creation, a reflection. The mirror is not creative. People in your world are not creative. They're not the way you think. They're not. They are reflective. That's why some people can have a great relationship with this person. Some people cannot. But it's the same person. But your concept of yourself is what your relationship with that person is. That's your options. That's your limit. That's your budget. That's what it is. We all go to the grocery store. But you see some people buy one thing. Some people have a whole cart. Some people can afford everything. Some people can't afford anything. They're in the same store you're in. Physically, but they're in a different state of mind. So even though they're in the same physical place, they have a different experience. Right? So we're all in this physical world, but we're all having different experiences based on our state of mind, based on what identity and concept of yourself you hold in every aspect of life. Right? In every aspect of life. Every aspect of life, you have a concept of yourself. And that, if you look at that aspect, it is the reflection of your concept. Your business, your money, your this or that. The reason we have a hard time with that is because we give our child a way to be named. You have a business. What do you want that business to be? You give your child a way to be named. So you have meaning. You give your business, you say, what do I want my business to be? Well, the economy says, well, people say, well, this says, well, that says. You gave your experience away. You just gave it away. I have a child. Well, what do I want my relationship to be? Well, they're a teenager. Well, boys will be boys. Well, you know, they can't not going to listen to you forever. You just gave your experience a way to be named. What do you want your friendship to be like? Man, people have always treated me bad. Man, people never understood me. Man, I've always had to be this or always had to be that. You just gave your experience a way to be named. So this is what I want all of you to do. This is going to be a little homework for you. Then I'm going to get back to one more thing that I want to crack on. I want you to write down. I want you to write down. I want you to write down money. I want you to write down relationships. I want you to write down your health. I want you to write down your lifestyle, meaning style of living. How do you live? So Monique's thing was, my life is complementary. What is your expectation of your lifestyle, the way you live every day? How do things go for you just as an overarching way? Your lifestyle. Like each state has a lifestyle, has a way of living, right? So your lifestyle, money, relationships, health, lifestyle, and I'll say business. I'll say any business that you have. Now, if you don't have a business, so those top four, money, relationships, health, and your lifestyle, those four are absolute, have to do those. If you don't have a business, then pick something else for yourself so that you have 5. If you have a business, pick business. And I want you, listen to me carefully. This is your child. You name it. So what I'm saying to you is, when you say money, I want you to write out what your relationship with money is. Your relationship, not what it has been, not what people tell you it should be, not what the economy is or isn't, not where you live, not whether you have a degree or not. I want you to write out what you want to name money, meaning what your relationship with money is, what you want it to be, not what it has been. Right? You're naming, this is money. Money is this to me in my world. This is how it works for me. I want you to strip down your experiences and throw those out. I want you to literally just say, from this point forward, money is like this to me. So remember how people said money didn't grow on trees? Now you may say, my money grows on trees. I want you to define your experience with this topic. Strip away your experiences, your previous ones, everything you've had up to this very second. Strip it. You have a newborn baby. This is yours to name. Don't ask anybody else's opinion. Don't take it out in the hallway. Don't say, oh, well, what do you think? This is your baby. This is your child. You had to carry this baby. You have to carry this baby. You're the one that has to nurse it. You're the one that has to name it. You're the one the principal's calling if something is right or wrong. You're the one that has to pay for everything. This is your baby. I want you to name your baby. I want you to name the relationship that you have with money. Name it. How does it go for you? I always have more than enough. Every time I use it, it increases. Every time I pay all my bills, I still got the same money. I got more in the end than I had with at the beginning. I started with 10, paid all my bills, and I still got 19. I don't even know how that happened. You define it. You decide it. You and only you, not your significant other, not your kids, not your mom, not your dad. This is between you and you, period. Sarita and I am got to start getting on the same page. Leslie and I am got to start getting on the same page. If you're a house divided against itself cannot stand. So when they questioned Jesus in the Bible about how he was doing all these miracles, and some of them said, well, I think the devil's helping him, basically. He has the power of the devil with him. And he said, how could that be possible? God and the devil can't be doing the same thing. A house divided against itself cannot stand. That's where people get that. So Leslie and her awareness of being, the human aspect and the higher aspect cannot be at odds with each other. You have to learn how to get on the same page. Period. Period. About these 5 areas. Now, once you do this, like I do with the timer, you can start talking about anything. I get everywhere I'm going effortlessly and easily. Quickly, effortlessly, and easily. I get everywhere I'm going quickly, effortlessly, and easily. Hell, when you're in California, you got to start talking to yourself because this traffic otherwise will wear you out. I don't want that. But I can either pick, oh dang, or I can say, man, I get everywhere I'm going effortlessly and easily and quickly. I get everywhere I'm going effortlessly, easy, and quickly. Right? I'm coming into agreement with myself about what my experience is going to be. Right? So in these 5 areas, you name it. This is what my money is like. This is what my relationship is like. This is what my health is like. This is what my lifestyle. This is the way I live. This is the way I live. You know, my health, everything I put in my body, in or on my body, is good to me or good for me. I only eat the things that are good and best for me. You don't have to define what that is. Your awareness of being will tell you. It'll show you what's good for you, what you like for you. You don't need to go on a physical diet. You need to go on a mental diet. You need to start becoming more perspicacious, more aware of what you're telling yourself about every area of your life. It's your mental diet that's killing you. It's not your physical diet. But you change your mental diet and it will govern your physical diet. You change your mental budget, your mental money, it will change your physical money. How much of you have, how much of it you have, and what you do with it. I'm a wise steward with all my finances. I always buy the right thing. I always get everything on sale. I always this or that. That's your relationship with money, right? So I want you to do these 5 things. Business, if you have one, and if not, add something to that. Does everybody understand that? Everybody get that?
Got it.
All right. Business. I'm gonna give you a little bit more. I'm gonna give you a little something. I'm gonna give you guys a little something.
Ooh, it's about to go down.
Oh, it's about to go
Down.
I just real quick, I just love how corny y'all are. Like y'all like compliment each other with your corny, and I just love
That's
that.
it. That's
Oh,
it.
you should see us by
I
ourselves.
love
it.
y'all. I love y'all.
Yeah, about to go down. All right, Veronica, what was the question I asked you yesterday? Because I'm trying to remember how I phrased it about the 10,000 thing. The question I asked you. I know the question I asked you, but how did I phrase the question? Do you remember?
10,000. I don't.
Do you know
About
what
the
I'm talking
10,000.
about, right?
When we were
The
walking,
$10,000 offer.
when we were walking,
No, when we were in the car, we were on the phone yesterday in the morning.
oh shoot.
And I said the $10,000 offer. Do you remember? No? All right.
No me
It's
acuerdo.
okay. I'm just trying to, I know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to remember how I phrased it. All right. So this is, like I said, these are things I do with business people. And when I have the business of being you, this is, which I'm going to put out again soon. It's like a 3-day thing. All right. Have you all heard, you know how like when, especially like when you do business, they have like, you know, whether it's like elevator pitches or they have like, you know, a $10,000, like get a $10,000 pitch, like an offering to somebody or all that stuff. You guys familiar with that? You guys know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you the only one here, Leslie? Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
All right, good. Because I gotta make sure.
You're
Yeah,
not, but I'm trying to. I don't want to say I do and I don't. So
like Veronica, how would you describe what I'm talking about?
How would I describe my offer?
Like that, yeah. You know how like people say get like a $10,000 offer or something, right? Or like an offer.
like an offer in like a proposal. You're saying,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
okay,
Let's just say.
okay.
Right.
How do
Okay.
how do I do my proposal?
Well, no. Now that you guys all understand what I mean, a proposal. All right.
We're on
That's
the
what I
same
wanted to
page.
get to. All right. Now watch this. So when you know people say, okay, get your proposal together, have your elevator pitch together, have your, you know, your whatever else it is. All right. When are you, so you have your business. when are you doing your when are you doing your proposal? When are you doing your offer?
After I do it normally after I meet with someone, and then I'll
Okay.
send the proposal after I meet with them, like a discovery call.
Okay. All right. Well, you can't say too much because once I get started, you'll
All right,
remember.
fine. Bye.
Right. Thank you. You're out. All right. But that's correct. That's good. Who else? When are you doing your proposal, your offer?
You mean is this like a one-on-one thing or?
You have a business, right? Whatever your business is, right? So you're doing your offer, your proposal. When are you doing that?
Once you determine what it is that you have, it's even like a job. So if you're going to a job or you have a job offer, you say, okay, for this, I'll do this. For this particular contract, I'm willing to do it for 150 a year. So you give them, you let them know like, hey, this, in order for me to do this contract, it'll have to be for this amount.
Okay.
So it'll be after you determine what it is you gotta do.
Okay. So the key, you said one key word in there. What was it that you just said right now? One word.
Determine.
Nope.
Do.
Nope.
What?
In between that, you said two words. You said a word in between. Nope. You said.
You know.
Nope.
Once I determine what I have to do,
Nope. After.
to do.
You said after. That was the word I'm talking about. After. Okay. So everybody understand that, right? So, and then your proposal. What are you proposing?
Service in exchange for money.
Okay.
Product in exchange for money.
Okay. All right.
A solution to a problem.
Okay. Oh man, you guys don't even see this one coming. Oh, you don't see it coming. Oh boy, you running down the street and the Mack truck is coming. Boy, just building up speed for about 3 blocks. I'm going down the block. I see you out there at the end of the block, and I got a 3-block running start and a big old garbage truck, and I'm standing on the gas. Oh, I'm about to plow all the way, run all the way through your chest. I'm about to run all the way through you. All right. So a proposal, right? The proposal, business. This is business, right? You have a business, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when is your business?
24/7.
Okay, so Sarita, you failed. What is after? After what? Leslie just said 24/7. So you said after.
And you said I failed.
You failed. You're out. You failed. You're fired. Right? No, I was like, so this, I was talking to Veronica about this yesterday because most people don't understand business the way they think they do. They don't, right? And I'm gonna prove it to you because there's things that we think about, but we don't really think about. Your business is 24/7, is it not? Now watch this. Then you said you're proposing. And what do we say we're proposing? What do we say?
A product in exchange or a service in exchange for money.
Okay.
A solution.
Okay. So then so we talked about this last week, right? Why do you have a hard time selling something to someone? What's the hardship of that? What makes that challenging?
The wrong audience?
Well, would you speak to the wrong audience?
No.
So then why are you speaking to the wrong audience then? How could that happen?
Right.
Meaning, the only way it could happen is if you didn't know, right? You didn't know they were the wrong audience, let's say, right? So then, what are you proposing? I saved this one. I didn't give this one to Veronica yesterday. She actually got to think about this. So you have a business. It's 24/7, yet we said after. So we're already behind.
So what am I proposing?
Yep. You have a business. What are you proposing?
My experience.
My services.
Are you
Look,
so-
I like the way she did that. My services.
What kind of situation was that?
I like the way she did that. I'm gonna keep that thing going.
That was deep. I was deep. I like that one. All right. Okay, you said you're proposing your experience. Okay. All right.
Marlon put in the chat a solution to a problem you don't know it exists.
Okay.
Expertise.
Okay. Expertise. Okay, that's okay. We're getting closer. What are you proposing?
Me?
Yeah,
You're
yourself.
proposing yourself.
Mm.
You are the proposition, actually. You are both. You are the proposer and the proposition. You're selling yourself.
I love it.
If who's talking on behalf of your business? There you right? Who's
Yourself.
I
Yeah.
am. Your business isn't talking. Who has to provide the service?
The person. Yeah.
Yo.
Who has to provide the solution?
I am
Yo.
me.
Yourself, right? I am.
Yes.
You are proposing yourself. You're saying, if you listen to me, I will X. I will do this. You are selling yourself. You are. It is your business. If it's your business, how could your proposition be a service or a solution? If you say this is my business, let's just say this is my business. If I have a car lot and I say that's my business, can I sit in there and say nothing? And the car gets sold and bought?
No.
No. So then, now what if I tell them, what if I was trying to sell, just a regular car, and I said it's going to cost you $200,000? Would anybody buy it?
Nobody I know.
Not a regular car, not a Bentley, just a regular car, right?
Oh, nah.
Would anybody buy it?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So then, but it's the same. Okay, but if I sell it to you for 20,000, would people buy it?
Depends.
More than likely, yes.
But at least it's an option now, right?
Yes.
But the car is the same. The car is the same. So then, why didn't you buy it? At 200,000, why didn't you buy it?
Because the value wasn't there.
But so then, who determined the value?
I did. Or the buyer.
Okay.
Buying the car.
Okay. And who expressed value first? What did I say? I said
The
200,000. Would you buy it?
The proposer did not present value. The proposer presented whatever they presented. They didn't present value, and that's why there was no immediate rush to get in on that deal, because that wasn't a deal.
So then the car doesn't really matter.
Right. The presentation.
The car don't matter.
Yeah.
Because guess who you're buying? Why not? Because you are buying the car.
Regardless?
Or me?
No, but it can't be. Hold on. It can't be regardless, because you didn't buy it for 200,000.
Well, what I meant by that is, like, I think about wholesale. So like, if we go in Houston, we have this thing called Harwin. Harwin is our wholesale district. If we have all these stores selling the same t-shirts, same brands, you just go to different stores to get the t-shirts that you need for your printing company or whatever. Like, we're being proposed to by these different stores on the street, this very long street.
That's
so
correct.
Who's proposing the best is the person who gets, even people who.
But I thought it was a solution. I thought it was the service.
You know what's crazy? Even if you don't have the best deal, if you're located on Harwin, people are going to shop with you. So it's like, there's something there. I know you're about to get to it. There's something there.
Right. Okay. But I thought it was a service. I thought it was a solution.
I mean, if you need t-shirts, that's where you go get t-shirts.
Yes. But how you decide who do you get it from?
Everybody goes to Harwin.
How do you decide who you get it from? You said there's several different people. How do you decide?
I guess if you go to each store, good luck. It's over 100 stores, but if you go to each
Right?
store and you kind of price check and do the homework, you'll find what you're looking for.
Okay. So the price is that is being sold for. Who chose that?
The proposer.
So then, if you can't sell the shirt just because it's a shirt, you can't sell the car because it's a car, then what are you actually? Who are you actually buying from?
The proposer. You're
From the
actually like
proposer.
buying the experience with the proposer. You having a
So
moment with the proposer.
so people are buying you. They're not
That's,
buying your service. They're
that's
not
dope.
buying your solution. They're buying you. And with you comes a service or comes a solution. They're not buying the service or the solution, because otherwise they would just buy the $200,000 car because that's what you did it. That's what you said. But you're like, well, that's not worth it. And your proposition to them isn't working, but you're the proposer. So they didn't buy you. But the car, it can't be buying the car, because the car is the same whether it's 200 or 2,000 or 20,000. The car never changed. The proposer is basically saying, I am giving you something. And you're saying, I don't like what you are giving me. So if I don't buy you, I'm not buying that or anything else that comes with you. Now you have a
100%.
business 24/7, right? And we said, okay, well, and Sarita said, well, after. Well, if you have a business 24/7, then when are you proposing?
Always.
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 Always. You're always proposing. So you think you're proposing when you have a $10,000 proposition. But the problem is, as soon as you tell me you have a business, as soon as I see you, I don't know you have a business. You're always proposing. You're always proposing. You are always presenting yourself as something. Always. You're always presenting yourself as something. So then how could it be after? After what? After you late? What, after your camera ain't on? Oh, after you realize now it's for real. Oh, after you realize I have some money. Oh, after you realize that maybe you can sell me something. But by that time, it's too late. You've already presented your business to me. Already. Most of us who have kids, haven't you ever seen your kids do something or doing something that they don't know you saw?
All the time.
Well, guess what? What you think your business is?
Ooh.
People look at you all the time. They're not buying your service or your solution. They're buying the proposer, right? Who is the proposer?
Gee whiz.
Right? It's you, right? So they're already
Yeah.
buying you or not buying you before you do too much even talking to them. They're already buying you. They're watching you.
Right.
You said you have a business. It's 24/7. Okay. If you have a business 24/7, how can you be late to a class? If you have a business 24/7, how can you do it after? If you have a business 24/7, then every word you say is a $10,000 proposal. Every person you're talking to is a $10,000 client. How do you know who is or who isn't? How do you know who is or who isn't? How do you know? If you don't know them, you don't know. Haven't you ever seen people come into some money where 2 days before they were broke and then they got inheritance because grandma died, father died, and now they know you and you know them, and now they got the money to start that business. Guess who they're going to come to?
Right.
You, if they know you, right? So they didn't have money before. Now they do. You ever know somebody who had money? Next time you saw them, it didn't look the same? People are in transition all the time. So you don't know who you're talking to. Really? You don't know what state somebody's in, whether you don't know them at all, or whether you know this person, but yesterday they weren't, and now today they are. Or yesterday they were, and today they're not. How do you know who you're talking to? How do you know who you're proposing to? How do you think you're not proposing when you don't even know who you're talking to? So when you're supposed to be on a call somewhere, how do you think you're late? How do you think that's going to work out? You're a business. So guess who was late?
Your
Who was
business is
late?
late.
The business is late. Who wants to do late with somebody? Who wants to do business with somebody who does business late?
Whew.
Anybody?
Mm-mm.
Who wants to go to? Let's just say it's COVID. Let's say it was COVID 2 years ago, and you got an inheritance and you want to invest it with a wealth management person, and you set up a Zoom call with them, and they come on there and you can't see their face. You gonna give them some money? So why your camera off?
Oh,
Why is your camera off during the week? Why is your camera off on this day? Why is your camera off? You're a business. Wait, no, it's not after. You're a business right now. No, you're a business when you woke up. You're a business when you logged on. You're a business when you're on. You're a business when you're off. You're a business 24/7. When did after come? Oh, you're gonna turn your camera on after you know they rich. Well, but the problem is you found out they rich, but they already know you late. So you ain't getting no business. You ain't your proposition is gonna mean what? What is your solution or service gonna do? Okay, let's ask another question. So for all of us, like we're on a bunch of different calls, right? We're on a bunch of different groups or a bunch of different whatever. So I want you guys to think about your entire experience and just average it out. Let's say you were on a call 30 days for a month. Let's just say a month of 30 days, let's say 30 days. Now I want you to think of the average person in all of your groups, average a person out. If there was a 30-day call, how many people are on there? And when I say on there, I'm talking about like I see some of you right now, like Leslie looking at me, Veronica looking at me, Sarita looking at me. How many people out of 30 days, out of all the groups you're in, average them? How many people are there 30 days like that? Like the way you are right now? Out of 30 days, how many days is it?
maybe the first day.
Out of 30, how many days? Veronica, how many days?
I would guess like a 50% there, 50%
What is
camera off.
50% in math? If you have a test, what's 50%?
F.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Sparkle Bailey, how many people are there out of 30 days?
Maybe 10, maybe?
10. That's 1/3. That's 33%. That's an F. Leslie.
Yeah.
So you just didn't even give a number. It's just an F. Okay. Sarita.
Honestly, 20%. The gym, when you go to the gym after the first, the next day you be like, it's already a trickle down.
Right. Right. Okay. Marlon, Della, Justin, if you're able to answer, if you are, give me a number.
10.
10. F. So think about it. How can you want to be successful and all of us fail? Meaning the numbers we gave of all the people that, because all of us are on these calls for something business related, or what do we call it? Self-development, self-improvement, something, right? You're there because you want to be more, do more, have more than what's current in your world, right? When you first signed on, is that correct? How can you do that? And at best, we got 50%, at best. How can you be an F student and a valedictorian? How can you be an F and your business be an A?
It's impossible.
It's impossible. And all we did was talking about showing up. We didn't talk about your knowledge of your product, your skills, your experience, or anything else. So most people are, that's why most people are not your competition. It's you. Most people are not your, we just went through it. Most people on the same call can't even show up 50% of the time. That's an F. Jeremiah comes on, Dad, I got 50%. I got 5 out of 10. Justin is not going to Dave & Buster's or no amusement park over that. But 50% was the highest number that you all said. Everybody else was in the 10%, 20%, 30%. Why do you know what the market is saturated with? That.
Yes.
They're saturated with 50% and below. People are not the problem in your business. There's not too many people doing what you do. There's too many people who suck at what you're doing. But there ain't too many people good at it. There's not. It's not the nature of humanity. It's not. You know how many people in the world play basketball? How many people would you pay to watch? Number got small, didn't it?
Yeah.
Got small, right?
Professionals.
How many people play versus how many people you would pay to watch is two different numbers, correct? Do you know how many people do what you do? You know how many people are actually good at it? Number shrinks. Because guess what? They can't even. So guess what? If you had a business and you showed up on a call every single day, like you're looking right now, on camera, alert, alive, knowing that your business is, when you open your eyes, your business is open. And you showed up ready, alert, and alive for 30 days, and the other people showed up 15. That means you got twice as much access to people as that person. If they only show up 10%, you got 90% more access to people. You can literally have a successful business just based on consistency and endurance. I'm here every day. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Just like this. What? 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 Right? What? Eyes wide open. Who's talking to me? What? Oh, you want me to share? I'll share. What? Oh, who got an idea? I got, like, my point is that most people, their answer is actor. Most people don't realize, they think they're proposing a service or a good. You're proposing yourself in order to provide that service or good. If I don't believe in you, why would I believe in that? Why would I do that? Why would you try to sell me this car for $200,000 if you knew what this was, when you know it's only worth $20,000? Why would you not be here every day if this is what you're building your business on, or learning how to build a business, or learning how to develop yourself? Why would you be here 10% of the time, 20% of the time, 30% of the time? How can you have a failing effort or a failing performance and then win? How do you do both of those at the same time? You are the business. You are the proposer. You are the proposition. People are buying you. They're buying you. And Lord help you if you're any good at it. If you're any good at it, you separate yourself further. Saturation is not the problem. Mediocrity is the problem. And most people are mediocre. So you can get into a business that everybody's doing and still rise to the top, because most people are mediocre. Most people are 10, 20, 30%. That's what most people are. Why do you think it takes them so long to make money? Why do you think it takes them so long to be successful? Why do you think? Because just like Leslie and Sarita were saying at the beginning, most people are fighting themselves. They're fighting themselves to wake up, fighting themselves to show up, fighting themselves to be consistent. They want a successful business, but they aren't successful. They don't realize they are the business. It's the business of being you. You are the business. You are the proposal and the proposition. It ain't at, so then it can't be after. When your eyes are open, business is open. If you have a business, every word you say to somebody is a proposition. Even if you're not talking to them, because you're a business. Every car that goes by the front of a 7-Eleven is a potential patron, isn't it? Couldn't somebody turn into the 7-Eleven know who's going to park in the parking lot? No. Everything you do is a result of your business, is a reflection of your business. Every word you say is a proposition. Every word you say is a $10,000 proposal, because you don't know who's listening, looking, or watching. Okay, let's see here. So when you guys are on big calls, let's say you're on a big call with a lot of people in it, right? And you're talking. How many people were on the call?
Like most of us are in the morning meetup, and there's usually
so
about 100+ people
how many
in
people?
that call.
How many people?
Over 100.
How many people?
120.
How many exactly?
120.
Exactly? Are you guessing? Or are
On
you
average.
I
On
know
No, I'm
average.
asking you.
fluctuates.
Yeah, let's say you were on a call on
We
yesterday.
don't know.
You don't
Depends.
know. You don't know. Okay, you don't know. How many people? So you don't know how many people are on there. Okay. How many people do those people know?
We don't know.
You don't know. Let's see here. How many people could use what you have to offer?
A
We
lot.
don't know.
Don't know.
How many?
We don't know, coach.
So if you don't know, how do you know what you're missing?
Punch, punch, punch.
How do you know? How do you know what you're missing?
We don't know till we try.
Wait, no. How do you know what you're missing?
You don't.
You don't. So then what information are you using to determine whether you should show up to the call or not?
True.
Whether or not you feel like it.
Oh, so now it's emotional. So now you're in the business of feelings.
It's a no-no.
That's your business. But okay, if you can't quantify, meaning you can't give me a real number, I don't know how many people are here. I don't know who those people know. I don't know how many people can use what I have to offer. And then I am, with all those unknowns, I am going to, and I can't quantify any of those. I can't give you a number. So then what number or what information am I using to make a decision on whether I show up to a call, show up on time, show up prepared, show up ready, show up looking like this? What information are you using to make that decision?
You have to always be like this.
That's crazy.
If you are wanting to have a successful business, because you represent your business at all times. So how you do anything is how you do everything, that phrase. So how you show up on these calls, or how you show up in the other calls, how you show up every single time is a representation of you, which means is a representation of your business.
So if you are in a grocery store, if you're in a mall shopping on Christmas, and you're in the department store acting a fool, what are you representing?
Your business and
Foolishness.
yourself.
Your business and yourself. First of all, the business
Like
of
a
being
fool.
you. First of all, the business of being you, right? And if you are a fool, your business is not going to be wise. Your business is an extension of you. So if you're late, your business is late. If you don't decide not to show up, you can't tell me how many people there, how many people they know. You can't tell me how many people can use what you offer, and you're making a decision not to show up based on what? How do you have all these unknowns and then you know that it's not going to be a big deal? It's Q&A. Oh, I hear from people all the time. Oh, it's just Q&A. Oh, well, the person's not there today. There's going to be a guest speaker. What does that have to do with your business? And if the person who is more successful than you, decided that this thing should be 5 days a week, and you're less successful than them, then what do you think?
Lord,
Do I need to finish that sentence? I don't need to. I can go off.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay, we got it. Right. So my point to you is, if you have a business, that means it's always on. Every person you're talking to is a potential $10,000. There is no $10,000 proposal. Every word is a proposal, and every person you're talking to is $10,000. You don't know who is or who isn't. You don't know who's rich today and poor tomorrow, poor today and rich tomorrow. You don't know who could use what you have to offer. You don't know anything. You all just said it. You don't know anything. I don't know how many people are listening. I don't know how many people they know. I don't know this or that or the other. You don't know anything, and you're making decisions like you do. Oh, I didn't got to show up. I ain't got to turn my camera on. I ain't got to, present myself properly. I don't got to know my product. I don't got to do this. I don't got to do that. Based on what? You just told me you don't know anything. This is business. This is business. People don't talk about business the way it actually is. This is business. Business means if you have one, when you open your eyes, business is open. If you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, Justin, and somebody says, "Hey, content creator, I got a proposal for you. I want you to do something I want you to run my social media for a year, and I give you $1 million." And it's 5:36 a.m. and you got that message. Is business open?
Nah.
No.
Say that again.
If it's
Yes, sir, it
5:36
is.
a.m. in the morning, you sleep with your mouth wide open. Your phone rings. For some reason you answer it. and it's somebody that you know, and he says, "Hey, Justin, I just came into some money. I really need to get something started. I need you to get on this call with me real quick right now. I want you to run my social media for a year. I'm gonna give you $1 million. Would you get on that call?"
Of course.
Okay, of course, of course, of course, of course. But guess what? It's 8 o'clock, and I see people not on the call they're supposed to be on, and it's 8 o'clock, and they're not on the call. How do you know when you're going to get a call? If you're in business, you're always on call. Not out of stress or worry or trying to never have vacation. I don't mean that. But I mean consciously, psychologically. You're always on. That's what you do. That's your business. That's what it's always open. Somebody could call you at 5:30. Wake up. Somebody could call you and say, "I'm this, I'm that." Every word you speak is a proposal. Every person you're talking to is a client. They're not going to be a client. They're not going to be a client after you get it together. They're going to be a client because you had it together. You don't get to be successful after. You don't get to wake up after. Justin's not going to say, "Hey, you know what? Cool, man. I appreciate it. Can I call you back at 8?" Do you know how stupid that would be? But guess what, Sarita? You know what that word is? After. That's what after is. When somebody calls you, it's go time. When they call, because you have a business, you're always on, right? And if they have something to offer you, you're on, you're up, you're ready, you're focused. But we don't know who's calling this or that, and we don't show up. We don't have our camera on. We're not paying attention. We're not this, but you're the business. You are the proposal. People are buying you. They're not buying your stuff. They're buying you, because if they don't believe in you, they're not buying that. They're buying you. It is the business of being you. Are you up? Are you ready? Are you awake? Are you on time? Do you have it together? Can you get it together? What we doing? What we doing? Every person, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who's listening to you. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know everywhere you go, on a call, at the store, here, there, and everywhere. You don't know. You don't know. So then if you don't know, then why is this person $10,000 proposal, but this person isn't? Why not? Well, how do you know? How are you making that distinction? How are you making that distinction? You can't do that. So we think it's a $10,000 proposal because we got a meeting on Tuesday. It's not a $10,000 proposal. That's just what you're aware of. $10,000 proposal, somebody that you see in the street, somebody you see at the grocery store, somebody you see at the mall, because you're the business. Everybody's watching you. Everybody's watching how you move, how you speak, how you dress, everything. Everything is a proposal. You're always proposing yourself because you are the business. So when you don't know this and you don't know that and you don't know this, and then you're making a decision based on all these things that are unknown, you're making a known decision, you don't know what you're giving up. You don't know who you lost out on. If you just showed up 30 days every day for a month, like we talked about before, do you know how much more business you would get? Do you know how many more opportunities to speak you would have? How many people would see you? How many people would hear from you, know about you, things like that? And guess what? All your so quote unquote competitors, they're only there at best half of the time. And at most a quarter of the time. So just imagine, like Sparkle Bailey said, you're over there in her city and you're going to that place where they have the t-shirts. And what if you were the only one open every day? And everybody else was only open 3 days a week? Who do you think is going to make more money? If you're on the call every day and somebody else only comes 10%, 20%, 30% of the time, who do you think is going to make more money? Who do you think is increasing their options? You're increasing your visibility. People get to see you, hear you, everything. You're always there. That's business. It's not when you think it is. It's not when you get ready. It's not who you think it's to or toward. It's with everybody. It's with anybody. People get rich and become poor. Start poor and become rich. But I told Veronica, if you have a Shopify store and Sarita's asking you to do something, now Sarita gets $1 million and she wants to add 2 or 3 more stores, who is she going to go to? You. But if she can't come to you over one because you got your mouth open, sleep. When she gets $1 million, she's not going to know you. She can't come to you. You already have to be before she becomes. So that when she becomes, she already knows where to go. It's the same thing. People get to see you. People get to see you, but you can't be asleep. You can't be with your cameras off. You can't show up 10 days out of 30 while you're paying for it.
I know that's crazy.
It's the dumbest thing. I mean, this is just the dumbest dumb I've ever. This is just dumb. $10. So you're there 10 days a month.
Oh, I'm
talking
right.
about I'm trying to do my this, I'm trying to do my that. 10 days a month. If you're that's like your son trying to be a straight A student and him going to school 10 days a month. See, you put it in another context, you'd be like, right. So when I'm on here crashing, now you see why.
So
yes.
We okay, like you gotta ease up on the camera, people. You gotta ease up on us today, coach. Listen.
And listen,
I needed to
listen.
hear this because like from now on, I'm a do better now because
I already told you 2 weeks ago.
I didn't know that
what?
I honestly did not think that everything.
Wait. You didn't think or you didn't know?
I did both.
No.
Don't set yourself up. Don't set yourself up.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm telling myself that I have all these dope relationships. All these people know who I am. They know how to access me. I have all these beautiful relationships in my Rolodex, right? So if I have some things going on that I don't want everybody to be aware of, and I'm just over here, on the low vibe for a moment, I know where to go when things are like better, or when I get like you said, when I get my mind right, because all of this is in my mind. When I get my mind right, like I just turn my camera on, I show up, I do what I do, and everything always works out when I do what I do, but I haven't been showing up. And that's the battle of self. Instead of thinking about external competition, the competition has always been my mindset, my old mindset versus.
And that's why I'm telling you that every time you show up to this call, unless there's a bomb, a hurricane, fire, or a flood, you need to be on camera just like I am. This call is not a surprise. This didn't just come up last night. You knew it was when it was a week ago. And part of changing your mindset is doing what you know you need to do every single time, unless there's absolutely not possible. Uncomfortable don't count. I'm not ready don't count. You should have been ready. I forgot don't. Nobody cares. Every time you show up and you show out. Period. Every time you provide a service, you show up and you show out. Period. The business of being you is an everyday, in every way thing. By default, this is what it is. Unless there's a flood, a fire, a hurricane, a bomb, a tornado, these calls are not a surprise. Therefore, you need to be prepared to do whatever you need to do for these calls to be what it is. We all have lives. Nobody's disputing that, right? And I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to the whole team. This is what it is. But this is part of what it takes to do the things in business that we want to do, because you don't have a better business than you are. And if you can't show up, your business ain't showing up. They're not different. They're not different. Your website ain't going to save you. Your funnels ain't going to save you. Your Rolodex ain't going to save you. None of those things are going to save you. Only you can save you. And if you are not present and accounted for, prepared and aware, that is going to be the reflection of your reality. Your Rolodex ain't going to save you. Nothing is going to save you. Only you are your savior. That's it. Right? So that is how it is here. And that's how it should be everywhere. You are $1 million woman. Every time you talk to your financial advisor, you want him or her, you want to see their face. You don't want to see no screen. You don't want to hear about, well, you're already my client. You don't want to hear that, right? Man, pay attention to me. You got my money. Focus. Or I want to see you. I want to know you hear me with my eyes and everything, right? I want to know you hear me. I want to know you hear me with every part of your being. No. Absolutely not. You can have excuses or excellence. You got to pick. You got to pick. Period. I don't care what you want. I just want you to have it. I want all of you to have it. But it's not an excuse if there's a fires, if there's a flood, a hurricane, that's not an excuse. That's a reason. Everything else is excuse. Period. And excuses don't get us what we want. They don't. Right? They absolutely do not. So absolutely not. No. If you're here and you know what you're supposed to be doing, do what you're supposed to be doing. If you can't, we all know that. We may be in the airport, maybe on the air, we may be cool, right? But we know when that is. But like we talked about on Saturday call, don't finesse yourself. It ain't gonna work. Don't do it. Part of being excellent is the practice, is the repeated action of excellence. Excellence always, excellence only, right? Presence always, presence only. That is the difference. You don't get to turn on a computer and now the business is on. You're on. You're the business. You are the most important part of this equation. That's why I'm talking to you this way. You are, not your business. All those things are dependent on you. Your business, the car don't sell itself. You don't help women just with the information. You are the purveyor of that information. So if you're not straight, you're not locked in, you're not focused, you're not prepared in everything leading up, then it's going to come through. And it won't be that your business isn't successful. It won't be that there's market saturation. It'll be that you haven't had the discipline and the focus to show up on time every time. Every time. And guess what? Your information will come up. It will show up for you and show out for you every time. Every woman that hears you be like, I got to have that. That's how I want to be. Not sometimes, not a couple times, not every time. Your business will be that way. You'll be beating people off of you because you're there 30 days. People are there 15, 10, making all kind of wild excuses. Broke, mad, unhappy. But you're there, you're failing in showing up.
When something happens though, coach, like I'm learning how to like take it with a grain of salt and knock it off my shoulder. Like I had another seizure, y'all, and I didn't want to
no. You know what I'm talking about.
I didn't want to
That's
say
not an
nothing.
excuse.
I didn't want to say nothing because it's like, no, I'm not no punk. Like I'm not out here living a life with epilepsy. I'm living epilepsy free. And then I had two back, and then it's just like, yo, this is corny. Like I feel like a fraud because
no.
Well, that's where my head been. So
when a baby is walking, they still trip. Whether they're first learning, adults trip and fall. Things. So what? Don't stay on the ground. Get up and keep walking. Right? Keep stepping. There's nothing to prove to anybody. Nobody here is judging or criticizing any of us on here. We tell each other what it is so that it can be what we want it to be. Right? All of us are. And look how far we've come. Remember when Della was putting that paper in his apartment and got the apartment? Remember all that stuff? We're all here. We're all out here. Right? We're all learning. Ain't nobody on here perfect or need to be. But I'm telling you so that way, and telling all of you, so that way you have a barometer and say, am I doing this? Is this a reason or an excuse?
Right.
Because everything is reliant and dependent upon you. Doesn't matter whether it's your health, your business, your money. That's why I said what I say. That's why I'm saying what I say, because I want everybody to know. Right? You're all important. You're all the business. You are the business. Your business ain't no business. It ain't going without you. It ain't happening without you. Nobody buying nothing if you don't exist. They're buying it from you.
Right.
You're the one filing taxes. You're the one that's got to do. Everybody's buying from you. So you're the most important thing. That's why I'm talking to you. Not because of what you aren't, but because of what you are. I'm talking to you like you are somebody. Like you are the best. Like you are number one. So I talk to you that way. Right? Not because you're not. I talk to you because you are. I talk to you all this way because you're the best. You're number one. You're the best. All of you. Right? And so it doesn't matter if you trip or fall. Stand up and keep walking.
Right.
There's no reason to judge, condemn, berate yourself any more than you would anybody else. Keep on stepping. You ain't no fraud just because you fell.
I was just like, man, I was 6 months, man. I feel like a addict.
Nah, man.
6 months. I was clean for 6 months, y'all. Like,
shoot, now you know you can do that.
Yeah,
right?
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, you get what you focus on. Do you want to focus on what you not, or what you think you messed up, or what you've already done? Man, I did that. I'm about to focus on that, and I'm about to double it up. I'm about to keep it moving.
Exactly.
You get what you focus on. Della.
Check your mic settings, Stella. I see you unmuting. If you click on the little caret next to the mic, your settings will come up to make sure you have the right mic connected, and then check your cords and stuff. He said in the chat he'll get back to you.
Okay. So It's 26 after. I don't want to hold you all too long, but I want you guys to understand that. I want you to understand something, that whatever you tell yourself is true is true. If you're telling yourself you're a fraud, that's all you'll see. You'll see more of that to be true. You telling yourself that, you defining yourself as that. That ain't gonna get you through TSA. That ain't gonna get you to the health that you're assuming for yourself. It's not a linear process, and it's not a straight road all the time. It's just the road that's traveled. And if you keep going, you'll get to where you want to be by continue one step at a time, one thought at a time, and stuff like that. Humans fall, adults fall, kids fall. So what? If the road is important enough to get on and to go on, then stay on it. You're doing wonderful, and that's what you tell yourself. You're doing wonderful, and shoot, every day and every way I'm getting better and better. Every day and every way I'm excelling. I'm increasing. And what are you telling yourself? Telling yourself a fraud is a no-no. That's a no-no. Absolutely not. If I said it to you, you would have been mad, right? Theoretically, you ain't that. So don't tell yourself what you don't want somebody else to tell you. I tell kids that I work with all the time, don't tell yourself when you're playing a sport that you're this if you don't want your dad to call you that or your mom to call you that. Oh, I missed a shot. Oh, I'm so stupid. Now, if your parent went in the stands and said you're so stupid, then you'd have an attitude and be mad. But you got to realize you are the most important person in your life. It's not your husband, your wife, your kids, your this. It's you. You are the most important person in your life. What you are telling yourself about yourself is the most important thing you will ever say or hear. And if it is not to your highest and best good, you don't say that. We all have thoughts. Don't mean you got to say it. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And if you don't have nothing nice to think, don't think it anymore. Stop it. Choose something else, right? Think highly of yourself. You're the best. All of you are the best, right? So you are the business. So show up. 30 days, show up. There is no market saturation. That's not the issue. Yeah, there's a whole lot of people in it. That don't make them any good at it. They can't even show up 30 days in a row. They're at a 10% clip. Most people are doing what they're doing are failures and failing. Look at the numbers we just went through, right? You don't have that problem. Show up 30 days and you'll see you don't have the problems you think you have. You don't have the competition you think you have. There's just a bunch of people around you. They ain't you. Separate the two. There's a bunch of people around you. They ain't you. They ain't you. And if you focus on being you, you won't care who's around. I can go to the park and play basketball. Most people at a park I see, basketball wise, they don't want that smoke, right? So I don't consider them just because they're there. That don't make them competition. I'll be looking and be like, yeah, no, it's not, no. I don't say that with everything. There's certain things that just ain't going. It's just what it is, right? So just because there are a lot of people doing something, don't make them competition, right? You are your competition. When you know who you are, there's just a lot of people around. There's a lot of people. So what? I'm still this or that or the other, right? All right. So show up, show up, show up, show up, show up, show up. You are the business. Show up. Every word is a $10,000 proposal. Every person is a client. You are the business. You are the proposer and the proposition. All right. Well, happy Saturday. I'll let you get out of here. I'm sure there's enough smoke for everybody.
I want to not remind because it's going to be a new, the reminder calls are going to come automatically from the community. So I want you all to save this email. Oh God, where did I put it? This email to your contacts so that way it doesn't kind of go into spam. I also put it in the community. And then the replays, just reminding you guys, the replays are going to be posted in the community. So if you want to catch the replays, make sure you go to the community. Today was the last day we're going to be streaming live on YouTube publicly. So shout out to Dennis and Cisco that were watching us on YouTube. And yeah, make sure you let folks know if they want to get a sneak peek, they can catch it on YouTube. And if they like what they see, they can join the club. And I think that's it. Oh yeah. And then lastly, we keep an eye out. We are going to have the 3-day boot camp for the business of being you coming soon, where we'll get all the smoke that we all need to get ourselves together and right. and be who we want to be and make money.
It's not that hard. It's just you got to get out of your own way, and you have to be you have to show up for 30 days. Like you got to show up. Your website's not going to save you. Your business card's not going to save you. Your funnels are not going to save you. All the other stuff you're doing, they're an extension and expression of you. But if you're late, all those things are going to be weakened by who you are. They're going to be weakened by who you got. Product, you can't get it out on time. Can't get it to people on time, right? You got this. I got people I know with that. Can't get the product out on time. Can't get the stuff out. Can't get this is all those things are about you. Right? So who are you? Create an identity where this is who you are. I have a marvelous, successful business doing what I love to do, right? My services or my goods or my products are always marvelous, always on time. They save lives, change lives, extend lives, improve lives, right? What identity are you creating, are you crafting for every area of your life, right? Worrying about everybody else, worrying about all the other stuff is what has you stuck. You have the wrong ID trying to get to a gate, wrong ID trying to get to the bank, no ID. And you wonder why it ain't working. That's why, because you're not the thing that you want to be. You are not that yet. You have to become that. Be who you want, and you will see that, right? Everything you do comes from that state, right? All right. Well, it's wonderful as always talking to everybody. Have a great Saturday. Anything anybody want to say before I let you go?
Thanks for the fire. I'm waiting for the smoke. I got the fire.
Thank you.
Hey, down there in LA, we got it too, so. I got enough to get to everybody.
Yeah,
this was good. This is really good. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's all I'm gonna say. And ouch.
There you go. That's good. It's good. Good.
Have a great weekend.
Yes. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for coming. See you next weekend. Show up.
Can't wait.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Cameras on.
Your week.
All right. Have a great week. See you guys
Bye.
later.